All right.
We're live.
Yeah, we good. What's up, world? It's your boy, Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, and welcome to another episode of Talking Hoops in the SIP Live. Man, I am so excited about tonight. I don't know what to do. It is championship week has just ended here in the SIP. And man, we have a bunch of champions on the show, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so excited. Uh, Again, I want to welcome to the show our regular host, Talante Weber from Southern Sports Platform. What up, T Web?
What's up, EV?
I also want to welcome in LaVale Shoes Johnson, the legend from Mississippi Hoop Report. What up, Shoes?
What up, peeps?
And then we also have driving from somewhere in Mississippi, the easy one, along with his running mate, Chucky, from Mississippi Play Sports. We got Charles Felton, aka Chuckster, and Eddie Young. What up, fellas?
Hey, what's up, EV?
What's up?
First thing I want to say is GOG for y'all driving and riding. I'm glad, Eddie, you're looking at the road. We know that you cannot really drive like that. So just pay attention, man. Try to talk without looking at us. We don't want to see you anyway. So also, anyway, let me introduce this is what we call it, MVP night. MVP night. And I'm just going to let you know if I'm having challenges with my internet for some reason today. And so if I happen to go off, Talante, my guys, they know how to just jump right in, and then I'll be back on. But we have let me go down the list, from Olive Branch, MVP, Rayma Piggies. What up, Rayma?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We also have from let's go Belmont, Macy Walker, the University of North Alabama signee. What up, Macy?
What's up?
We have from Holmes County Central, a junior, Amarian Hogan, aka Mr. What up, Mr.?
What's up? What's up? How everybody doing?
All right, from let's see, from Pontotoc, a junior, we have Samaya Brooks. What up,
Hey.
Ms. Brooks?
Hey.
From Clinton, we have 6'8.5", maybe 6'9" some days, Kamani Hamilton. What up, Kamani Hamilton?
What up?
And from Bakersville, the number one ESPN play of the day last week, we got Cam Smith. Cam Smith?
Yeah, yeah.
What up, Cam Smith?
Y'all can hear me? What up?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
There you go.
Did you say anything? What up, Cam Smith?
He came in.
I said, what's up?
Oh, okay, good. I just from Bakersfield. But last but not least, we had to wait for the last for this one. 3-time state champion, 2-time MVP from St. Andrews, my man, Rashad Bolden. What up, Rashad?
Good.
Listen, man, I am so excited about all you young ladies and young men on the show tonight. We're so excited to have you guys. You guys are champions. And I just don't know what to say, man. I was there all week, myself and Shoes, and I know Talante was, and Eddie was there as well. And we saw you guys compete. I know most of us saw you in the semifinals and even the finals. And so we just want to let you know we're proud of you, even though some of us, including myself, bet against some of you, and said that, we didn't pick you guys, to win, like Talante mainly. I got most of my picks right, but even though I didn't get the Olive Branch, picked right, but I kind of had a feeling they was gonna win. But man, we're just so proud of you. And so one of the things we want to do before we jump on, we want to say just shout out to our sponsor, Tatum and Wade Law Firm. Tatum and Wade Law Firm is located right here at 124 East of Meade Street, right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Tatum and Wade are serious lawyers who get serious results. I say if you want to get paid, you need to go to Tatum and Wade. So anyway, let's jump right in with some questions. And the first question is very simple. And we're going to everybody's going to answer this. So here's what we're going to do. Here's going to be the order for right now. So y'all need to pay attention. Raymond Piggy is going to be first because I'm looking at my screen. I'm just going to go and order the screen. Then we're going to go with Raymond. Then we're going to go with Mr. Then we're going to go with Macy. Then we're going to go with Cam. Then we're going to go with Samaya. Then we're going to go with Kamani and then Rashad. We'll see how that works. Okay. So, and then I'll help you on, when y'all forget. So the first question is this, simple as this. How does it feel to win a state championship?
It feels really good. I'm really happy that me and my teammates were able to pull through with the close game. So I'm just happy that we were able to finish.
Let me ask you this, Raymond, because I forgot about this, and I apologize because I should have mentioned this early in your introduction. You've won 3 state titles, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I like how you flipped into the geek like it was your first one. Like I got to ask you this, and then I'll get to the other ones. How does it feel winning your 3rd state title?
It feels really good.
Still feel like which one feels better? Do you know which one feels better?
Probably the third one. It was the third one.
Okay. Was that this one? That was yesterday then, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, cool. Go ahead, Hogan.
It feels amazing knowing that you won the first state championship in school history. And me and Ro, we were talking about that all summer. What we gonna do when we get back to the big house?
So that was your first one. Okay. What about you, Macy?
It feels pretty good, especially when, the last 4 years, that's all we worked for. So it feels pretty good to go out my senior year with a state championship.
Was that your first one, Macy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's awesome. Cam, I think, is next.
It felt great, especially hitting the game winner and stuff like that.
Yeah, that had to be like a special. Like, let me ask you this, Cam. Did you dream of that? Like, was that ever a thought process? Like, man, I hope I hit this. Like, were you ever in the driveway saying 3, 2, 1, Cam Smith for the game winner, bang? Did you ever do that?
Actually, like before the game, I was telling the guys. It was like a couple of hours before the game. I was telling the guys, "What do we end on a buzzer beater or something like that?" And it just happened.
Wow. Okay, Miss Samaya, my computer's changing, so I just go Samaya.
Feels good knowing that everybody's worked hard for, I'll say, 4 years now. I'm glad we finally got it done.
Kamani.
Feels great. One of the best moments of my life.
Rashad, talk to us. Your 3rd one. I can remember your first one. You were a little scrawny freshman, and I didn't know if you was, like I said, you were out there knocking down 3 after 3, but you had another kid by the name of Garrison Wade, who was the MVP that day. But then you came back the last 2 years, and last year, man, I just thought you guys were the underdog, and you got it done, once again. And then you came back this year. It's kind of the favorite and got it done. So you've been, I would say, 2 years of being underdogs, and then this year being the favorite. Which one was your favorite one? Talk to us about the 3.
I mean, all of them, just grateful to be able to win a state championship. All the teams worked for it in the preseason to try to compete for a state championship and win it. And I mean, obviously, the last one is always going to be the special one to me because, I mean, that's the one you left out on. And being able to go out on the state championship back-to-back years, I mean, it's just an honor to be able to go out like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, man. It was man, it was exciting basketball for all of you guys, to watch all of you. Second question, then I'm gonna let the other guys ask a question. They can jump in and ask a question. I'll just ask this next one, and then how does it feel? You won a state championship, that's a team goal, but we all have individual goals. How does it feel to win MVP? Raina.
It feels really good. It's actually, it caught me by surprise because I'm so used to just being the team player that just gets everyone involved and used to like I'm used to passing the ball a lot. So like scoring was like a secondary type thing for me. So to be able to just fill in and be able to step up as a leader and finish out the game is, just doing everything. It made me feel really good about my game.
So Maya, we'll have you go next this time.
I was proud at the end of the game. I've been playing basketball since I was 6 years old, and all the training, all the AU practices, everything paid off right then in that moment.
We'll go to you, Rashad. We'll let you jump in on this one early. MVP.
I feel like the MVP is just something that comes with it. I mean, you go out there and you just do whatever it takes to win. I mean, I just go out there, scoring, playing defense, rebounding, assists, whatever it takes for the team to be successful. And if an MVP comes with it, that's how I look at it.
What about, Cam, MVP?
It feels good, but Brooks Brown the real MVP with that pass.
So he the real MVP, huh?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's what we call a pinball pass. You ever play pinball?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that thing just hit off, boom, bing, boom, right into your hand and yakka. We call that a yakka. Famous Low, he called it split at. I call it yakka. When that thing go in like that. And you know what's crazy? I was thinking about this the other day in the game. It's a universal sound when you get people together. When everybody, y'all notice this, when y'all shot going, everybody say, whoosh. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody got that sound.
Nah. Now everybody say yeet. That's what everybody say now on the 3-pointers.
Oh, that's what y'all say, yeet?
Yeah, that's what New Age say. That's how they be.
You know what I say, though, on the show, though? I tray you. I'm Cam Smith. That's what I say, That's what
I like Cam giving him that credit because I got to give his teammate that credit, that hustle to get to that ball, because it really could have easily been out of bounds and they wouldn't have even gotten a shot off. He really, really did, give a great effort to just get to that ball.
He really did, shoot, because I thought, oh man, they done overthrew it. And,
yeah, I did too.
He somehow got to it. And the ref, we know, everybody saw the little still images. It was such a bang play. My hat's off to the ref. I don't call that. I really don't. I don't, unless I was absolutely certain, because see, you had to look at the kid's foot and the ball. You don't know when it was going out. So I don't blame the ref for not calling that. Kamani, MVP.
Feels good. I just went out there, did whatever I had to do to help my team win, and I got it.
Hey, man, I'm just gonna be totally honest with you, man, dog, because we be honest on this show. I was so proud of you. That's the best. That's the most rebounds I've ever seen you get. I know you got you turned into it. I mean, you got 14 and 14. You don't be rebounding like that. But I
do rebound.
No, you don't. No. It's okay. You're my guy.
I'm a horse.
You are a scoring horse, but you ain't rebounding like that. But last night, but you know what? I saw something in you on the semifinal, to be honest with you. And me and Talante talked about it. And even Shoes, I think. Matter of fact, no, it was me and Shoes, and then Talante too. You play so well. I'm gonna let Shoes. You want to tell him what you said, or you want to hold out?
I said, in my rankings, you've been, Devin Reed's been 1 and you've been 2, and I just been kind of letting it stay like that. I said I'm gonna let it play out. They'll figure it out for me. And I told him, I said, if we come back with another performance like that, but I may have to move to number 1. I was just, being the devil's advocate. I was giving you credit for that performance in the semifinals. I said, hey, if we come back with a similar performance like that, it's gonna be time to start at least considering the change.
Yeah. And see, one thing that we do, guys, I know y'all see me now, y'all see a fat offensive lineman, but 200 pounds ago, I was better than all of y'all. And like, it ain't nobody on this show that I wasn't better than. And like, none of y'all ain't done what I did. I just want you to let you know. If you don't believe me, go check me out, EV basketball highlights. I was that guy. So I just want y'all to understand that. But when we critique you guys on the show or watch you, it's not about we're criticizing you for you in a negative way. Take it, because you're going to be getting this the rest of your life. Even when you work on your job or whatever, they critique you. Shoe's been working where he is for 28 years. They critique him. They don't critique him no more because he's his seniority, so he just don't do jack no more. But before that, at some point, they was critiquing him. And you're going to be critiqued your whole life. So when we talk about things like a guy like yourself, Kamani, it's not something negative, take it from, as my old pastor used to say, eat the meat, throw away the bone. So mainly eat the positive stuff, and then what you don't see, throw away the negative. Who didn't answer that MVP? We're down to Macy and Macy, what's the MVP? How does it feel?
It was pretty good, but I wasn't too worried about the MVP. I just wanted to get the win, so.
I like how you're geeking. I love when y'all geek like that. I call that geeking, Macy. I wasn't concerned about the MVP. And I know you weren't, Macy. And I heard somebody else say that. But it's like you wanted to win. And I do believe you, Macy. I believe you wanted it. Who else did you answer, Mr. about the MVP?
Nah.
Okay, what you got, MVP?
It feels good knowing that all summer I working on my shot and handles and getting in big house and execute all it. I feel good about that.
And I'll be honest with you, Mr. When I saw you with the Delta Heat, I had a chance to talk with you guys, and I said, man, y'all do what y'all supposed to. Y'all gonna have a shot, And what I like about when I saw you early in the year, and y'all was still getting used to your new coach. Y'all didn't play up to like I thought y'all should have. What I saw early in the summer, but then, man, you grew about 2 inches. You got bigger, you got stronger, and it was like, where's this dude? Who is this guy?
I see one now.
Huh?
I see one.
I know. When I saw you about 5'10", and so and you was a little, but then you got some meat on you. You ate good this summer or something. So let some other guys ask anything about it. They want to ask a question or two.
Did Cam get the answer?
Yeah, Cam had a little one quick answer. He didn't you answer, Cam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's in that biggest fear mode, man. He's chilling, man. He ain't trying to talk like that. I mean, he just was on ESPN. This dude just talked to Stephen A. Smith. It's just EV and Shoes and Talante. He ain't trying to talk to him like that. Talante, what you got?
Yeah, I had a question for Macy. I know you say you weren't focused on winning the MVP, but can you walk us through that last play where you had got open with the layup? And I was like, dang, I don't know how she got open to get to the basket with 2 seconds left. And then it like rolled out. Like it was such a simple layup. Did you think you were gonna miss that layup?
Honestly, I knew I missed it. I shot it too quick. I just rushed it. I heard my coach yelling behind me to shoot it. And I walked back to the huddle. I said, Coach, don't yell at me. I said, I could have took one more dribble. But, it is what it is.
Speaking of that, Macy, that was because they had 2 people on you, and you broke free from them. And it was like, oh, my gosh, she's wide open. But then I know you had to be thinking in the back, because how many seconds was on it at that time?
2 seconds.
And we all said that was the longest 2 seconds. I remember Talkin said that was a long 2 seconds, because usually, how many dribbles did you take? 2?
I took 2 dribbles, yeah.
That's 1, 2. 1,001, 1,002, and you still, so I can understand how you rushed it. And then you came back. What was really special, you came back, had a chance to win the game, and 3 people were on, and you threw a dime. I dime you to Brooklyn Hold'em, the freshman, and then she ends the game with an I lay you. I mean, that was big time. How did you feel? Like, did anything go through your mind like that's Brooklyn, a freshman, or did you just throw the ball to her like out of habit because she's open?
I wasn't even thinking, I was just thinking make the right basketball play. And I felt like I didn't want to take an unforced shot that might not go in, and we can't get the ball back when I had a wide open teammate. And I feel like in order to win a state championship, you got to trust your teammates.
We got some major geekers on here. Macy, that's awesome. I believe you. You know, you got to understand my terminology, Macy. I believe you. That's a powerful. You geeked me. You know, that's the right mindset to have. Eddie, what you got over there? I know you driving, but you a truck guy, son?
Yeah, I have a question for Rashad Bolden. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, Rashad, late in the game, you got a chippy foul. I think you're playing with foul trouble late in the fourth quarter. What are you saying to yourself to kind of overcome that situation and not pick up that fifth foul, such an important player on your team?
I was just thinking, don't put myself in a situation for a ref to call a foul on me. So that's offensively or defensively, and that's a matter of not contesting a shot, just have your hands straight up. I mean, on offense, if you see guys sitting there trying to take a charge, don't even go their way. It was just a matter of just trying to keep myself out of a situation for the ref to possibly call a foul on me.
Yeah, I think that was very important, Rashad. I felt that's a great question, Eddie, because I saw you last year foul out, Rashad, and I've seen you get in foul trouble. And I know I can just see your look every time, like when you don't foul and when you don't think you foul, and a lot of times you don't. You said something very key. Don't put yourself in the position for the ref to call a foul. You did. That's the right thing, because let's just face it. It's not, you're the star. We need the star to be in the game. And to be honest with you, and Shoes and Talante are refs, and we have this conversation all the time. I'm not saying we got to just necessarily protect the stars, but my thought process, if the stars, this is just me, so y'all better be glad I ain't no ref. If you a star, you want to really, really foul. Because if not, I ain't calling no foul on the star when there's 5,000 people here to see the stars play. I'm just not doing that. I'm not gonna get caught up and be wanting to actually, have a vendetta. And I'm not saying these guys have a vendetta, but man, it sure seems like it. Y'all gonna have to earn y'all fouls. That's just my thought. What you think, Shoe?
Man, I just know this. If I don't ever see another charge call, I'll be happy. I saw Tyler too many this week. You know I am about the charge call, man. I know Rashad feel that way because 3 of his were charges. 3 of his fouls yesterday were charges, I think, out of the 4. And I know he did it like a couple of them. I'm sure he didn't feel like they were charges. A couple of them wish they'd have been played through. It's blowing up, you up, and then they punish the guy that wins. There's the stronger guy sometimes. I hate charge call, man. They going to town with it this week.
Hey, listen, guys, does anybody have another question for Macy? Well, Macy, because Macy, Macy's actually working, she's making that money. And so we got to get her, she's got to get off and get back to work. Does anybody have another question for Macy?
Well, I'm gonna ask this question to everybody, and she can answer first. All teams, it's one of the questions that EV, and I really do want to ask this one. Everybody won all of you all won the championship this year, and all of you had up and down seasons with COVID and with nobody went undefeated, everything. Even the Commander was the close out there undefeated, I think. But I'm sure everybody, and nobody was, well, Rashad and them were repeaters, but everybody, had to go through ups and downs. When did you really, really, in your heart, know that your team was positioned to win a championship? You really feel like you all could do it? When did you all really feel like, that when did the light click on that, hey man, we got a chance to win this thing? Mason?
Well, we won 31 games, so we don't really lose a lot anyway, so that gives us a lot of confidence. But we beat Tishomingo County by like double digits, I think, in February. And we got really hyped after the game, and we all just looked at each other and we was like, yeah, we're finna do it.
I like that. And I want, before anybody asks this, I'm gonna let you ask this next one, Macy, and then we'll go back to the rest of you so I can let you go. We'll let you go. What was the one thing that happened during the year that you thought that was maybe something that was challenging that you guys had to overcome and say like, or did you have anything like that? Was there a point in the year you said you had something that you had a challenge that you had to overcome, you know?
We have a lot of offensive talent, I feel like, on our team. And, you got to learn to play together, especially when you have a lot of offensive threats. But once we learned, what our roles were, we became very successful and obviously brought home a gold ball.
How excited are you to go to, you've signed Division I, North Alabama. What are they expecting from you as a freshman, and how excited are you to go play for University of North Alabama?
I'm very excited. I think they expect shooting from me a lot, deep range shooting, especially at the college level. They move the line back, and, I'm just looking to go out there and try to get playing time and hopefully, do pretty good.
When do you leave for college?
I think like conditioning and stuff like that, I think it starts in July, but you move in August.
Okay. Anybody else got anything for Macy before we let her go? Your man Core was he was gonna come on. He hated that he missed you. He had the Bucks trial today, and so he told me to send his regards to you. So I told him he was gonna be on. So he said he loved coaching you. And even though, and listen, I'm just gonna throw this shout out. I'm gonna just throw this little, because we do this on this show. Hopefully Eddie Young got a chance to see you for real and realize, like he had you too low in his rankings. But I ain't gonna start no mess. But anyway.
You don't say nothing about that. I'm gonna tell you, I kind of like low key. I kind of want to thank him though for real, because that actually pissed me off. And it made me like, I swear I went to the gym like 3 times a day after he put those rankings out. Like I was pissed.
Eddie Young, see that? You didn't help somebody, Eddie. Even with your silliness, your foolishness, Eddie, you didn't help somebody. Man, praise God for it. What you got to say to that, Eddie?
Hey, Macy Walker, look, I just want to say you are a phenomenal basketball player. From the first time that I talked with the coaches up at UNA, they was just so impressed with what you had done. And so, can you guys hear me okay? I know we can hear you good.
We can hear you good.
Okay, cool. And I'll say, listen, you attack that thing the right way. And so many kids, I know me and Shoes sometimes are, we some say we devil's advocates because we do have the player rankings. And I just want everybody to know that when we're doing rankings, we ain't saying that that we obviously that kids that are ahead of you are better. We're just projecting from what we've seen. And just like with anything, what I saw from you the first time I saw you play to now, you're a totally different ball player in my eyes. And we will be updating those rankings. And I'm just really impressed, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I think you're going to a great program, and I think that you will be I think you'll make Mississippi proud. So I'm just really excited to see your next chapter, and you really closed it out really well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I do have one more. We're about to run into some bad area as far as reception. Rashad,
Macy,
I got one more question for Rashad Bowden, if I can.
Go, Macy.
Can I ask Rashad a question?
Yeah, I was just trying to get sign Macy off first.
Okay, let's sign Macy off. Okay.
We signed her off, so go ahead, Eddie.
Okay. All right, Rashad. Listen, I know that you have picked up a lot of interest in terms of college coaches and things of that nature, and I already know you probably go keep it politically correct. But we need to know, man, where you going to play college ball at, or have you narrowed your choices down to your top 3 or 5 yet?
No, sir, I haven't. I mean, it's just when I come out with it, it'll be the one place I'm going. I don't believe in doing the top 3, top 5. At the end of the day, I can only go to one school. So, I mean, putting 3 and 4 schools on there, that's not really going to help anything besides putting the one I'm going to.
He's been well schooled, guys. He's been well schooled in that answer now. I've been down that road a couple of times. I could have told you. He's been well schooled.
They could have put a gun to my head. I wasn't going to ask him that question. That's Randy.
No, I wasn't asking that again tonight neither. I wasn't asking that.
That's Randy.
He's been well schooled, guys.
That's Randy Bolden. So you think I was gonna ask him that? But you know what? That's why we got the easy one. Thank you, Eddie, for asking that. Because we didn't, like, be honest, we just didn't have the courage to ask him that. So Eddie, thank you. No.
Well, Rashad, I've been knowing Rashad for a long time, and obviously really close to the family. Me and his uncle talk every day or every other day. So the whole thing about it, I know the world wants to know you're a phenomenal player, and it's not a lot out there about you in terms of people who don't know that's not in your circle or kind of where you're leaning. So that wasn't a question for me. That was a question for the world. Where's Rashad Bolden going? Rashad, are you thinking about in-state or out-of-state?
I mean, I'm not leaning towards either or. I mean, whichever is good for me.
I love Eddie. Did you hear what he said, man? He basically told you that. Hold on, Rashad. I got you. Dog, don't ask him no more. When I commit, I commit. Okay, I answered for him.
Hey, Evie, I don't need you to justify anything. Rashad, a big man. He put his pants on. He's a big guy. He's a big kid. We don't need you coming on trying to justify this man's answer. Can you let me answer my questions? You're about one of the rudest hosts I've ever seen before in my life.
Oh,
but that's it, Rashad. I appreciate it, buddy. I'll go back to mute and let you take over your show. You better be glad I'm driving. Chuck, you got any? I got something. Hold on, Chuck want to ask Kamani a question, man.
Yeah.
You hear me good, Evie?
Yeah, I hear you great.
And me being from Clinton, so we ride with Clinton. I like to ask Kimani. There's a lot of seniors on the team, Kimani, and I know that next year she'll be bringing back a really, really good crew. How do you feel? Are we making a prediction for next year?
I feel like we're gonna be a great team. We're gonna be kind of young, but we got leaders on the team that'll step up and bring the youngest players in. So I think we'll be pretty good next year too.
All right. Anybody got anything else for? Let me ask this question. Well, we didn't ask. We need to ask everybody. No,
we didn't ask anybody a question about when the team thought they could win it.
Yep, that's right. So let's go back to that. When did you feel that you can win the ship? So let's go with you, Rayma, and then we'll go with that Rashad, and then Hogan, and then Samaya, and then Kamani.
I feel like that me and my teammates could win the championship was when we all started clicking on all cylinders, and we all just started like pitching in, whether it was offense or defense. Everything started clicking together, and it was coming together, and everybody was just playing as a team. And it was like anytime we like close games, we got them out the way early, and it was just like everything was pretty much just perfect.
Next, let's go with you, Mister.
I realized that after a couple bad losses that our team was better with me passing the ball instead of scoring a lot of points.
What loss in particular? Can you pick the loss in anything?
We lost to Ridgeland and we lost to Hartfield.
Yeah, talk to us. See that. Go ahead, Talante. I know you can say. Go ahead, jump in, Talante. I know you want to say something about that one.
Hey, now I actually had you and Lake Cumberland. I had both of you guys coming to my event I was supposed to have, the Magnolia State Classic this year. And it's ironic that both of you guys end up playing each other for the championship. I just thought that was so crazy. But yeah, talk about that Hartsfield loss, because Lake Cumberland beat Hartsfield the night before that pretty convincingly. But then you come back and Hartsfield beat you guys pretty convincingly as well. So I always had you guys like ranked in my top. I actually had you guys coming to the season in my mind like a top 5 team in the state. You know what I'm saying? Just from what I've seen with the loss to Callaway the year before that. So can you talk about what happened with that Hartsfield loss?
We just went trusting our coach at first. He just came in. We had to get to trust him first. We didn't trust.
Expound on that. When do you feel the game? Because your coach from last year, Coach Patrick, became the principal. Then you did get the new coach who was a former player at Holmes Community College. when did you see that transition happen where you said, man, we got you, we trust you now? When do you feel like that clicked for y'all?
During district time, everybody started coming together.
Okay.
And since we're on the coaching subject, I know St. Andrews had a new coaching change too. Rashad, when did you guys? I know you guys already had championship pedigree, but I know it's still kind of hard when you get a new coach that comes in and he want to bring his own philosophy in. So when did you guys actually start to buy into his philosophy, or did you guys just kind of keep the same one you already had?
I mean, when he came in, he pretty much didn't want to change too much. I mean, obviously because we had guys that knew what it take to win. We pretty much had a system in place and things like that. So his biggest thing was he added some small things, minor tweaks and changes, of course. But I mean, overall, he just trusted in us and what we knew already, what it took to win. So I mean, he pretty much just put it on our backs, pretty much.
That's nice. I think you said something like in the States, in the locker room. I think I read on the internet or something. You know, what did you say to him? You said something like, if you want to win, like if you want to read, come here or something. What was that quote?
Yeah. The first day he got the job, he called me and wanted to talk to me. And he said, you know, I came to St. Andrews to, you know, win and be successful and things like that. I just told him, I mean, he came to the right place to get a ring. So
I like that. I like that. You came to the right place to get a ring. That's good. Okay, let's see. Samaya, what was, back to that question, when did you know that y'all was going to win the championship? What was that moment?
We struggled at the beginning of the season a lot with losing a lot of people last year that were big for us. And I think the game that really brought us together and we really pulled through was Tupelo. We went into it saying we had nothing to lose. We had lost a couple games before that, I think. And we said we had nothing to lose. So we went in and we played as a team for the first time, I think, this year. And we pulled that one through.
Okay. Kamani.
What was the question?
When did you know that y'all could win the championship? Like, when did y'all know during the year? When did you know you could win the ship? And we just ask a twofold question. And then the other thing, what happened that, like that y'all needed to happen that kind of maybe got y'all stay, focused on, what y'all needed to do?
I'll say our first practice. I noticed everybody was on the same page. And right there, I knew we was going to be a good team, have a good chance to win state. And we had a wake-up call, We lost to Vicksburg. We didn't go out there and play hard, and we ended up with an L. But the next games, we got back on the same page, and I noticed we would have had another good chance to win.
Y'all were, I consider, and I don't know if you, the first game when I saw you guys, we came on the show, and I'm telling you, I put y'all on such a high pedestal. I mean, I was like, this is the best team since, sliced bread. I just thought y'all was the most, I said from day one, this is the most talented team. I mean, I was so excited about y'all talent. And then the next game, y'all played Northwest Rankin and beat them by 30. And y'all brought me way down. And the reason y'all brought me way down was because, and this may sound crazy, but y'all won by 30, but y'all should have won by 60. Y'all was jacking around, messing around. And I was like, I don't know. Then y'all made me put, as high as I had you, Delonte over here was always on Starkville. So he was Starkville, he's from that way, Starkville. I'm like, no, they more talented than Starkville, but Starkville know how to win. And so that was the question on y'all all year. And right at the end, that's when I felt like I said, okay, I think they have, I saw y'all beat Starkville in the Rumble. And then y'all it seemed like y'all hit it. And I said, I remember saying to them, everybody was like, I got a text, down goes Goliath or something like that. Down goes the giant. They were talking about y'all losing to Vicksburg. And I told people, like Amari hit, Mr. hit me in my inbox talking about, you pick Vicks, y'all pick, I see y'all talking about Vicksburg. Vicksburg was as talented as anybody. Well, not as talented as you got, but they had 7 guys that play college ball. So that didn't shock me. So I knew that game right there, that was the best thing I think that really happened to you guys. That y'all, I agree with you that y'all experienced that. Anybody want to add to that?
All right, and since we're on money, we might as well ask. You guys lost to Starkville last year, I think the quarterfinals. So they beat y'all. Y'all had them beat. Y'all had them on the ropes the last 2 minutes of the game, right? And they came back and won that one. So was that first game, was that more of a revenge game? Because you guys came out hot that first game at the Rumble. And then last night, you know what I'm saying, I expected it to be another close game, another battle. And they were actually led. Y'all were trading blows. But then you guys had took over and dominated. I thought you guys dominated the last 3 minutes of the game. So was Starkville just like serving on y'all calendar all year? Like, we got to beat them because they put us out last year and we should have won that game.
Yes, sir. Both games were revenge games.
Both games were, huh?
Yeah.
The first one, yeah, okay. You said both games. So Maya, were you getting ready to say something? Oh, okay. I saw your little thing light up. Did everybody?
I don't think we've heard from Cam yet.
Cam said his internet was acting up or something, so I just told him to jump back in when he can when his internet popped back on.
Yeah, I was wondering. That's who we were missing, Cam. I was wondering where
he came in and out a minute ago.
Yeah,
a little while ago.
Was there anything with you, Rashad, this year? I don't know if you answered this question. Was there anything, a time this year for you guys? You guys only lost a couple games. Was there a time this year that had to get y'all refocused, where y'all thought y'all might have been slipping a little mentally, and y'all just had to refocus, or were y'all just kind of focus all year long, or did y'all have a lull or anything like that during the season?
I think our biggest thing was getting a chance to play. I mean, consistently. I mean, we played our first couple games, then we had like a month off before we had our next game and things like that. Okay. So I feel like once we like played some games and got used to each other and our new coach and stuff like that, I mean, once we got our rhythm, I feel like we were good. We just had to have guys buy in and realize their roles, because we had a different team this year. So, I mean, everybody buy into their role and getting used to playing in their role. I feel like playing was the best thing that could happen to us.
That's a great point, man. Buying in. That's a big word, man. I still got to write that book, Buy In, because if you don't get kids to buy in, that is that you're just not gonna you're not gonna make it. I mean, so that's a great point.
I got a comment / question for Samaya. You all know I follow the boys more strongly than I follow the girls, but I'm familiar with which girls teams kind of have programs that are really consistent. It really was a shock to me when I heard that Pontotoc hadn't won a championship since 2012. I really would have thought that they'd have won one since then, because they're consistently pretty good. I did not realize they hadn't won one since 2012. And Samaya, with you being, you're a junior, you're a junior. Did you immediately, was it easier for you to roll into a real leadership role this year, or did you feel that you had some seniors that helped bring it along and keep you guys together? Who besides yourself, who would you give credit to, helping bring the team together and the success of it this year?
It was hard for me this year to fill into that leadership role, just because we had so many seniors do it last year and the year before that, because we didn't have anybody graduate in my 9th grade year. So we brought everybody back last year. So it was kind of hard for me to go ahead and fit into that role. I'll say our point guard, Allie Beckley, really led the team this year with handling the ball, with in practice, working hard every single day. I give her a lot of credit for how far we got this year and how good we were, how many games we won, and just the flow of the game.
Raymond, did you Did you guys was there a moment this year that y'all had a little struggle? Did you answer that? Y'all did we had, I don't know if we had, did y'all have, y'all were 25-1, and what was the game that did you say Tupelo? Was that what you told me? Okay, the
Is there?
Tupelo. Okay. Let me ask you this. Let me back up. With Olive Branch, I want you guys, and we talked about, we're going to give you an opportunity to defend your talk a little bit about your fan base. Your fan base seems like a
Hey, we ain't doing it tonight, man.
no, I'm not gonna go all, we ain't going all the way there. I just want to say, that you guys have a pretty strong and loyal fan base, and I'm sure talk about your, like how much of your fans play a part in you guys' success. Because I heard it's really tough to win at home at Olive Branch. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, our fan base is one that I feel like is unmatched when it comes to energy, because it's like they walk in on 10, like whether it just be like, they'll be like OBs and have stuff, just different stuff like that. And it's like when we start going on runs and stuff like that, they play a big part in it, because like we feed off of their energy once we start making all those shots, and they start hyping us up, and it's like an ongoing wave of just, cheers, and we just don't get tired of it. We love it.
Let's talk about, what about your fan base, Samaya, at Pontotoc? How do you feel like the energy is at your home base? Matter of fact, let me back up. Did you play at Olive Branch this year or at Pontotoc?
We played at Biggersville.
Oh, so it was a neutral court.
It was, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Tell me about your fan base, and the rest of you guys. We can talk about your fans too.
They're so supportive with everything we do. And everywhere we go, they're always there. I know my family personally. It's a big clan of them, and I really appreciate them coming out to support me with everything I do. Every game, they're always there. Away, home, wherever, they're always there.
Mr. Holmes County, talk about your fans.
Our fan played big in the playoff. They helped us come back against Vicksburg with their energy and stuff.
Okay, so y'all was down in Vicksburg.
Yeah, we were down at home against Vicksburg. They had like by 8.
Oh, that team, I thought they could beat y'all, but y'all got it done, huh?
Yeah.
Monty, talk to me about the Clinton fans.
Our fan base is really supportive. Whenever we be down in games, we hit a couple shots, they get us back in the game off their energy, and we just feed off of it.
Okay. Rashad, hey, come on, let me help you. You can put pick your camera up just to taste it. There we go, bingo. Rashad, talk to me about St. Andrews fan base.
Our fan base, it has grown since my 8th grade year I first went there. Because when I first went there, basketball wasn't big, wasn't successful and things like that. And like ever since then, everybody, all the students, parents, faculty, everybody, alumni, everybody been supportive and comes out the games and things like that. So it's been good.
That's great. Delonte, you
got let me jump in. Has all of the kids answered that retarded question that Evie just asked? Hey guys, fan base. Yeah. Man, as soon as the show started to get some good ratings and we started to get some good publicity, here you come asking these old sorry questions. How is your fan base, guys?
Hey man, y'all do this when y'all have a kid, man. I ain't got time for that right now. Y'all do.
Hey, look. I got a question for hey, Kamani. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, look. So I was working. Shoes was asleep. Talante was playing Candy Crush, and EV he didn't work the whole time. Now I don't know why they even gave him any access to be metered. So between games, I'm jumping up and I run to the concession stand and go to the restroom. And
that's a lie. You don't run nowhere. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, look, so Kamani, I go to the restroom and I've been knowing your dad for years. For most people that don't know, your dad was one of the top players in the country coming out in the late 90s, a hell of a basketball player. And he's nervous, man. He's just standing outside the restroom, and him and I have a conversation for a couple of minutes. And he said, man, I'm just so nervous. You know, boy, he gonna be fine. He said, but man, I am nervous as heck, man. He said, he's tough. He was like, do you have any kids? You know, how is it, you know, watching your kids, especially in moments like this? We had a moment there, man. Tell me how tough it is for you and guys like Rashad Bolden, who's coming from a basketball family. His dad was a hell of a basketball player too, in the early 90s. How is it for you guys coming up? Sometimes compared, is there pressure coming up behind someone like your dad, Tang Hamilton?
You want me to go?
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, it's real tough, you know. A lot of people want you to live up to their name, but really you're your own person. So, you know, just because that's your people or dad, whatever, that don't mean like, feel me, y'all the same people and all that. So,
Rashad, how do you feel? You know, you have a father who's a you know, SWAC player of the year, they told me. You know, how do you feel like, you know, same question. That's a good, Eddie, that's actually a good question. I was going to ask that. Good job, buddy. How do you feel about living up, you know, kind of, you know, do you feel the pressure of living up to your dad, or, you know, like, you know?
I don't really feel like it's pressure. I mean, having somebody like that train you and in your ear push you to get better, you can only be better than them because they're gonna help you not make the same mistakes they did. And I mean, I never looked at it as pressure. I mean, even though people say that, like, your dad could do this, you know, things like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to go out and be the best you. So I mean, what people say and their comparison and stuff really don't matter at the end of the day.
When's the last time you played your dad one-on-one?
He won't play me no more, no matter what he'll tell you guys. But yeah, he hadn't played me in a while. It was like, I think it was like maybe it was like 6th grade, maybe. I think that was like the last time we played. And after that, he realized it was time for him to shut it down.
What about you, Kamani? When the last time you played your dad?
well, he used to play when I was younger, but when I kind of got older, he's scared to play me now. So,
Hey, we're gonna have to get y'all daddies on here. I think they're gonna tell us something different.
They calling y'all out, guys. They calling y'all out.
Hey, V, can I come in and ask a question right quick to Rima?
Of course, buddy.
I appreciate you, man. Such a nice guy, man. Rima, we noticed that you picked up a 4th foul with a lot of time left in the game. And your coach pulled you, and like you all had a moment there where he talked to you. And that showed a lot of trust for him to go ahead. What was said then, and how did you feel with him bringing you back? I think it was in the 3rd quarter, probably middle ways 3rd when you pick up your 4th. So talk to us about that moment.
Pretty much, he could tell that I was nervous because I mean, when it comes to defense, you know, that's a big part of our transition to offense. So he was pretty much like, you know, don't put yourself in predicaments where you could possibly get that 5th foul. He said, be smart about it. So with us running that box and one, I knew I was like, well, to keep myself out of that, you know, getting that 5th foul, I put myself on top of the box so that way I could just help around the perimeter and contest, you know, threes and stuff like that. But, you know, still crash the boards just to get the rebound. You know, I still box out or whatnot. But he was pretty much just telling me, you know, you have the green light to do as you please, but just make sure you do, you know, be cautious about everything. Don't just go in there and just, you know, force anything or, you know, throw anything up. Because, you know, we still have to lead, but you don't want to mess anything up by fouling out.
That's a great answer. Let me read some of the chats. Ricky Fletcher said, what up with it, Mr. Ring Us? Ronaldo Taylor says, congrats to all you champs and MVPs. Jobs well done. Tony Chapman says, congrats. Corey Isaac, my brother, says, Olive Branch key to victory last night were the free throws. Great job stepping up and knocking them down late. He says, I love the Rhema quote in the Clarion Ledger yesterday saying, tomorrow I'm back to work. And so those were some of the chats. And then also Lori Gillespie says, congratulations to all. She says, I'm so proud of you, Rhema Piggies. Congratulations to all the players. Prayers for your continued success. Will Gray says, congrats to all the guys and girls on here. The journey has just begun. Rhema, Corey Isaac says, you stated in the Clarion Ledger yesterday that the work starts back over again tomorrow. What do you feel you need to work on heading into your senior year? That's from Corey Isaacs. That's a question for you. Before you answer that, everybody who's watching, jump on the live chat. This is your chance to ask any of these kids any questions, while they're here. Go ahead, Raymond.
Well, now I feel like my main objective for this season is just pretty much getting faster, doing better like decision making, having better decision making skills, and just pretty much just perfecting those little tweaks that I need here and there, such as like shot consistency, whereas like my jump shots, they'll fall on some games, and then some games is just like a one-sided game. It's not like an all-together offensive side. So I just feel like and then on top of that, my defense, work on ball defense.
I think that's a good question for everybody. Go ahead, Eddie, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just, before we let Rhema go, I was just wanting to say, hey, Rhema, I was really impressed with what you did in the state championship, and your run is just remarkable. But beyond that, the one thing that I love about you is in one of your quotes. I know they talked about some of the other stuff that you quoted, but you quoted and you acknowledge your faith with God. And that really, really showed me a lot. And I tell you what, beyond your basketball play, the fact that you acknowledge him and all of your, you got your little thing, you throw your little hand up on your free throw. I thought that was really, really admirable to just see you talk about God and trust, your Lord and Savior, and giving him the blessing, that he's blessed you with an unbelievable talent. So I just want to let you know, I definitely admire that. And what you've done so far, in your basketball career. I think Division I coaches, especially in state, should be all over you right now. There's no doubt. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm about to be the first one to be an advocate for you, because our in-state programs need to be supporting, really, really recruiting you hard and throwing offers your way based on what you've done.
Thank you so much, Coach.
I want you to do this for me, Eddie, and I'm going to just say this publicly. I want you to call Howard University. Raymond has like a 3.9.
No.
I want you to call, because I know that's your guy over at, oh, sorry, 4 point what, Raymond? I'm sorry.
4.9.
4.9. Now that is a major difference there. 4.9 and 3.9. Eddie, call your guy Howard, because that's a nice little spot for us. So I'm just going publicly. Hey, William Johnson says, Kamani, set the camera up, man. And he got the laughy face. Brandon Taylor says, my dog Kamani. Madison.
Man, them are my teammates. They troll.
They troll it. Oh, okay. William Johnson. This is what I'm gonna go back to that, William Johnson. But Madison Booker has a message for you, Rhema. You can tell Rhema, I said we will see them next year. Tell me this, Rhema, because listen, I'm just being honest with you. I love, I know people that hear me sometimes, they be like, he be riding so and so, I know they be saying that about me, and that's cool. I ain't tripping, because I've ridden all y'all at some point. But Madison Booker, to me, is the best prospect and best player in the state. No question in my mind. My mind hadn't been changed. And I know going in, you guys are a defensive team, and you're tough. Tell me, when you playing a young lady like that, what was your mindset? And then after playing her, I know you watched her maybe on film or seen her somewhere, or maybe even played against her before. After playing against her, she didn't have her best night, but tell me what your thoughts of after just being on the court with her.
Well, me and Maddie are very close. It's like my little sister. So it's like when we got on the court, even coming from last year, it was kind of like, we always had a competitive spirit when we get on the court with each other. So we always go at one another. So I just knew coming on the court that she was going to bring her A game. So I knew I had to bring mine. And she wasn't gonna go out without a fight, because even though that they're a young team, that girl she has all the talent in the world to do whatever she wants, and she showed it when she played us.
That's awesome. William Johnson wanted me to ask you a question, Kamani. He said, I want to ask Kamani Hamilton, how did Will Johnson locking you up in practice contribute to helping you put up the big numbers in the playoffs? Huh?
Will got no defense at all. It's terrible.
Okay.
But no, I got a question.
I asked Rena that question her mom sent.
Her mom, yeah, you saw it.
You see what her mom said?
Yeah, your mom said, Rena, and then Talante, you can ask. Rena, she says, I want to, of course she had to remind us you have a 4.9, which you've already done. She said, I want to ask Ray, which was more important to her, the Scholar Athlete Award or the MVP?
Well, everybody knows me as being like the nerd of the team. So the Scholar Athlete was something I definitely go for, that I would like walking into the gym or just like in state championship period. I want to win a state championship, of course, but it's kind of like school is everything to me. So it's kind of like winning that Scholar Athlete. It's just everything to me. I love school. So just to receive it meant everything in the world.
Okay. Interesting geek. I like that. And when I want y'all to understand, when I say geek, I'm the geeker. So geek, I just think everything's a geek. That doesn't mean I don't believe it. That's just my terminology. So I just want y'all to make sure, because some of y'all here, like y'all know, I try to be funny. I remember I ain't gonna go into what I remember. But anyway, go ahead, Talante. What you was gonna say?
My question applied to everybody except Rashad, because his team is the only one that really blew somebody out, but everybody else's game was close. And we can start with Mr. First. When did you guys know, what was the point in the game that you guys knew that you would win? Because everybody else had a very close game. I think everybody else won by like 5 or 6 points maybe, but it was close, and the leads were going back and forth. So we can start with Mr., then go with Samaya, then Kamani, and then his Piggies. So when did you guys know that you guys actually had control of the game and you would win that game?
We knew we had control when we made them get out the zone and go man. Then we knew we had control then.
And who was next? Samaya.
I'll say we took control in the third quarter. We started off slow. We were down 9. It was 10-1 first quarter, I think. And by halftime, we were down by 3. We came out third quarter running. Defense was perfect. So I say we realized that we can win it then in third quarter.
Kamani.
I say I knew we was gonna win in the fourth quarter when we had went up by like 5, and it was like 2 minutes left. I knew we was gonna win it then.
I knew we were gonna win it when I think Addison went to the free throw line and made those last 2 pair of free throws at like 8 seconds, like 8 seconds left. And then it was like when Maddie came down and she shot the 3 and she rebounded it and just time was still going. I was just like, yeah, that's it.
That latest song.
Samaya? Was it Samaya's turn?
Nah, I think everybody had went. And I guess we can ask Rashad. I mean, since he's the only one that blew somebody out, did you guys know coming into the game, did you guys expect that to be an easy win? Because on paper, I figured you guys would probably win pretty comfortably. And the scoreline did reflect it. I think in the first quarter it was I think they only scored like about 9 points maybe. You guys 20 or something like that. So coming into the game, did you guys expect that to be? What was the game plan coming into that game for you guys?
I mean, the game is. I mean, it's just hard to game plan on how a team's going to guard you. I mean, because watching film, I mean, they play everybody else pretty much man to man. I mean, some 2-3 zone, and then they come out in a triangle and 2, and they throw all type of gimmick defenses at us. But I mean, we didn't think it was going to be an easy game. Obviously, it's a championship game. It's their last game, so they're going to come out fighting. But, I mean, we just went out there and decided to just do what we do, and we should be successful.
Ronaldo Taylor
No,
asked,
it was 10-9 after one. They pulled off in the second quarter. That's when they opened it up. It was only 10-9 after one quarter, but they opened it up in the second quarter.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. They outscored them. They outscored them 19-4 in the second quarter. That's when they blew it out.
Ronaldo Taylor has a question for you guys. Who will repeat as champs, and who is an underclassman on your team that we should look out for? We'll go with you, Samaya.
You said what you said the question was?
Who will repeat as champs? Will you guys repeat as champs? And who is an underclassman on your team that we should look out for?
Of course we will.
Okay.
I love that album.
Yeah.
Hey, we have some ninth graders coming up. They're to look out for. All of them. They just gotta settle down and really work on it outside of practice and stuff. But I mean, it's really no underclassmen. Just I think all of them are gonna grow in the summertime if they put the work in for it.
Well, let me ask you about one in particular. I just happen to know one that I've seen. I thought was a pretty good player. Tell me how Alexis Gordon, if she's a freshman, will she be able to? How can she step into somebody's role, or do you see her stepping into somebody's role and being all right for you next year?
Yeah. I think she'll be able to step into somebody's role. Like I said, if she just works on it this summer and start early working on it, I think that she'll be able to be a big part for us going on next year.
Mister, are y'all repeating, and who somebody to look out for?
Of course we're gonna repeat. And on the class, I say Jannard Powell.
What position he play?
Point guard.
Okay. So is he gonna play? Y'all gonna play together pretty much?
Yeah, we're gonna play together.
No, what I mean is, is he gonna coach? You think he'll just play 2-point guard? Because a lot of people do that now. Or is he still gonna come off and back you up, or like what's your thought?
We don't know yet. I don't know what coach is gonna do.
Okay. Kamani, what's your thoughts? Is Clinton gonna be able to repeat?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And a player that's coming up, he in 10th grade right now, but his name Matthew. I think he gonna play a solid role for us next year.
Okay. Rashad, even though you're graduating, what's your thoughts on St. Andrews next year, and who do we need to look out for?
I mean, obviously we have Jake Dodell and Javion Johnson. They're gonna be the two seniors next year. And I mean, Corn Red coming up. We got other guys, Dwight Luckett. We got a lot of other sophomores that's gonna be juniors next year. So I mean, they should be fine. I mean, they have a good senior leadership class, great coaching staff. I mean, it's gonna be up to them to put the work in to get there, but I think they got the talent.
Raymond, Olive Branch, OB.
That's my plan for a 4-peat. That's my plans. I said to come to high school. And honestly, I feel like all of the freshmen that we have coming in are very much capable of coming in and just stepping up, and including our 10th graders upcoming 10th graders that we have, that they played a little bit, I think. And then one of them actually played in the state championship. So I think they'll be prepared.
How many girls do you actually, your starters coming back, Raymond?
3.
3. Okay. What about you, Samaya?
2.
Mister starters.
Oh, we losing 2 stars.
Kamani?
2.
2. So y'all have 3. Y'all got 3 starters coming back, or just 2?
No, we only got 2 coming back.
Okay. Yeah, I know y'all. Chuck said earlier y'all were a senior laden team. And I know you guys, I told you about 15, 20 minutes, and I took y'all past that. We just got caught up in the geek, and I'm sorry. So if somebody has to go, we'll understand, but people still having questions and comments. Brandon Taylor told me to tell you, Kamani, he told me to ask you to tell us how you be hawking in practice.
Oh yeah, I'm a real deal hawk. You feel me? Every loose ball, I'm going for it. Every rebound, I'm there. Full court defense, I'm on everybody.
Oh, okay. And I see you sometimes. That was impressive. You do have moments. I remember a moment against Devin Ree. Y'all matched up. And I'm sure Shoes, I think he was there.
Yeah, I was
And
there.
you had that moment where you got in that down in the corner and you just you took the challenge. And I thought that day I felt like, okay, come on, because before then, I actually coached against you, when I was with Murrow's assistant. And I just tell you a little secret, be honest with you. When we played against you guys, you hit the game winner when we were at Murrow. I remember that. But I was always in the mindset, who we were most afraid of? I was on y'all team?
Who?
Jeremiah Foster. Because Jeremiah Foster was a straight up dog. He came off the bench like a goon, dunking on people, rebounding basketball. He was just so, to me, tell me about Jeremiah. What's your thoughts on him, man? Because he just seems like he's a no nonsense guy. Like even after he won a y'all won a championship yesterday, and I didn't see him like jumping up and down. He just was kind of like mellow. Like, talk to me about Foster.
Yeah, he's a real cool dude. Very hard worker. Tremendous rebounder. As you can tell, he'll go in there and grab a rebound, and he will dunk on you.
Yes, he will. He reminds me of Darvin Ham. I dunk on you. I'm Jeremiah Foster. He had some nasty dunks. Go ahead, Shoes. You got something?
Do y'all realize we did not have one super duper dunk the whole state tournament? I can't remember one just get everybody out of their seat dunk the whole state tournament. We had some dunks, but Kamani got a few. Big Kid from Holmes County got the alley-oop, but we didn't have that one moment dunk that just got everybody out their seat this year. Oh.
Hey, the defense was too good, man. Hey, that's a testament to everybody's defense. It was too good to get dunked on.
We did get that one hang on. I hang on. I get hung. I hung you. We did have that. I hung you. I'm Kamani Hamilton.
Somebody did get hung.
He got hung.
Now we almost got it last night. Cody almost gave it to us last night, but
he almost got a body. It was almost nasty. I was like,
we almost got that from Cody last night, but we didn't get that one highlight dunk this year.
No, you're right.
I was waiting on it.
Chuck, you got something. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, let me come in 1 second. Ask Kimani one more question. Hey, Kimani, I've been following you all the whole year and doing highlights. And tell me about the block that Foster did last night. Was that, in your opinion, one of the best ones of the season?
Oh yeah, that was a big time block by Foster. Because if he didn't block that, if he just would have let him dunk it, that would only put them down by 2. And at that point, they still in the game. So that was a big time block for us.
Huge block. Now that was a highlight block. That Talante wanted to. Talante. Now this is crazy. Talante. We all had our picks, and Talante picked Starfield. That's cool. But we try to be like when the facts present itself. Shoes. We saw the video. The guy was
he
right there.
He got the body first.
We slowed it down. My man had
he got the body first.
Do you hear? Do you hear?
You know what? I'm gonna do like everybody else did with the Biggersville game. I'm gonna put mine online like everybody else. But the block was nasty though. You know what I'm saying? It was like you said, it was a game-saving block. You know what I'm saying? They scored them 2 points and it changes the game. I'm glad he hustled back and got it. You know what I'm saying? I thought you guys, like I said, made some big time plays in them last 3 minutes of the game to actually win the game. You know what I'm saying? And you guys took it over when you guys went to the zone. It pretty much shut them down. You know what I'm saying? They went cold. So you guys did blank them that last 3 minutes of the game. And that's kudos to you guys. Somebody dad in the crowd, I'm guessing. He was screaming go zone the whole game. I don't know who dad that was, but maybe somebody uncle or something, but he was going.
He was some kin to Michael Bell. He was some kin to number 11 because
number 11.
That's Michael Bell, ain't Michael number 11?
Yeah, that's his granddad.
Oh, that's his granddad. Okay, he was man. Give him the ball, throw him the ball. It was just so funny, man. We enjoyed listening to him over there. He kept saying, "Coach, you gotta go zone, Coach."
Y'all enjoy listening. I wish I could watch every game in the bubble with no fans.
I don't. I love the fans. I love the energy.
But
I asked the questions. Go. You had some, Salante?
No, I was just gonna tell everybody because I know some of y'all gonna probably start logging off and watching the game. I really enjoy watching all of you guys and girls play this weekend. This is my first time seeing Rashad play in person, and actually my first time ever seeing you play was when I watched the semifinal game. I had heard a lot about you, but you can really hoop. You know what I'm saying? I like your mid-range game. I like your poise, running the PG spot, and I like your leadership skills. So you really impressed me. That was my first time ever getting to watch you play in person. I really think you're a good hooper. As big as I like the way you play, I like the way you lead your team out and do whatever they need you to do to get the win. So I've seen you a couple of times. I actually ref a couple of your games before too. I like the way you go out there, rebound, score the ball, and then who I'm missing?
Money.
I got coming up, but Mr. I think you played really, really well. I think you ran the show well. You got the assists, got the rebounds, and you just took control of the game, man. I like the way you hoop. And then Kamani, of course, I had tweeted out last night. I thought you looked really elite in some spurts of the game. You came out. I thought you were locked in. I thought you and Eric Green from Starkville, you guys came out locked in and pretty much set the pace for you guys as a team to follow. And that's big time, you know what I'm saying, as going into your senior year and going into the summer. I think that's going to really get you some offers this summer.
Well, Corey Isaac, we have one more question for you guys. We'll have that Corey Isaac ask it, and then if you want to log off, you feel free. We're going to probably stay on and talk a little bit longer about some of the games. But what are some of your workout plans? We'll start with you, Samaya. Summer workout plans.
I'll say my parents really, they're my hardest trainers. So my parents, they make up everything. They tell me what to do on everything. So I'm putting all my eggs in their basket, and I'm gonna let them train me for next season.
Okay. Raina.
I think my dad we have a set out days for each day. So just whatever he has in store for me, but we pretty much are gonna go I think we do 3 days a week, and then do basketball training later on that night.
Ooh, your dad, man, got muscles beyond muscles, man. That's a good school. Let me ask you this: so when boys try to holler at you and they got to go through your dad, man, is that that? Have y'all seen? You gotta see her dad, man. It's that's a question right there. He having it?
Sorry?
He not having it right now?
Not well. It doesn't really go through my dad because my brother somehow ends up being in front of it all. So no, we never have to worry about it.
And then we also know who else is in front of it. Pastor Angela. Well, Mister, what about you, man? What's your summer workout looking like?
I gotta get stronger, and I gotta work on my quickness.
Okay. Kamani.
I'm gonna train with my dad, lift a lot of weights, and try to get quicker.
Rashad, what you gonna look like going into college? What are you? What's your thoughts?
I mean, just do what I've always been doing. Training with my dad, training with my strength and conditioning coach. I mean, just doing things like that, just a normal.
All right. Well, we have one thing. We always have this thing, what we call the last geek, and we're going to give you guys an opportunity to have a shout out to anybody, any last words that you may have before you guys sign off, and we're going to continue geeking a little bit. I don't see any more questions on the live chat. And man, I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming on, each one short notice. Man, that I really appreciate that. And this was, you guys are so intelligent and so impressive in this. And this is going to be one of the reasons we like to have, and we're going to have more, athletes on. And look for me to also maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe even the next week or so, I want to have some of you, maybe even your teams, back on, to even talk to some of your teammates and give them an opportunity as well and break down your individual team. But this is like Talante said earlier, this is like even interviewing skills. The way the world is going now, I remember I interviewed for a head coaching job at a college, and I had to interview right here on Zoom. So this is preparing you guys, and you guys did a wonderful job. And so, any last geeks? We'll start with you, Samaya. Anybody that you want to shout out or whatever before you log off, and then we'll go with you, Mister, and then Rayma, then Manny, Monty, and then Rashad.
My parents, of course, first off. Wouldn't be here without them at all. Dad got me started on basketball when I was young. I didn't even want to play, but he got me started on it. My coach, Coach Hurd, all my trainers, Pontoc fans, everybody.
I like shout out to my mom, Tooth, and my dad keep pushing me.
Okay. Rayma?
I want to thank y'all for having me.
Rayma, before you say
sorry.
something, I just got some on live stream.
Oh, gosh.
Madison Booker said, Rayma, come to Germantown.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank y'all for having me. But shout out to my family, shout out to my mom, and shout out to pretty much my teammates, of course, 3-peat. And yeah. Oh, and Coach T. Yeah.
Kamani?
Shout out to my mom. I won't be able to do nothing that I do without her. And to my dad, he made me the player I am today because he pushed me hard in workouts. So.
Rashad?
Well, I just want to thank y'all for having me on here. Shout out my dad, of course. I mean, shout out my coaches, my teammates, everybody who support us. Yeah, pretty much it.
Well, y'all welcome to stay on and geek with us, but you're also I know y'all got Snapchat, y'all got some of y'all Rashad. I know you got a little girl. You made you and Kamani and Mr. got a little female that y'all probably trying to holler at right now. So y'all welcome to get off. And then I know somebody. Go ahead, Chuck.
I was gonna say before you end it, Evie, I just want to tell everybody on there that's really special that we had the MVPs on tonight, which is considered a very prestigious award for those that won the title. And each one of them still said they need to get in and do more work. So I just think that that's really, really good that those are considered some of the elite players. And yet they say tomorrow or whenever they got to get back in the gym. So shout out to all of them.
Ariana Patton from Meridian says, the little general says, congratulations to all of you. So if y'all don't have anything else, y'all, again, like y'all say, y'all welcome to hang around. We're going to geek a little longer, but, and then, so y'all can sign off if you want. Like I said, if y'all want to be a part of the show, man, just stay on. But like I said, I know y'all got stuff, going on. So anyway, thank you guys, MVPs. Anyway, let's jump in real quick, guys. So let's talk about the tournament as a whole. What did anything in particular? Obviously we had the MVPs. Let's kind of recap. Eddie, we'll start with y'all since y'all got right now y'all in a good space and we can hear you. Recap the tournament for us, some special highs, lows, whatever.
Y'all there?
What did you say? I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you. Say that again.
Oh, I didn't know if I was trying to get y'all while y'all was in a good y'all in a good area or not.
Yeah, we're in a pretty decent area. You had asked the question, we couldn't really hear.
Oh, what are the highs and lows of the week? You guys were there all week, and we just kind of recapped the state tournament.
Well, I thought all the games were really good. I think shoes what was pretty intriguing. I think all of the scores for a lot of the girls' games ended up at 55 points for 3 or 4 of the winners. And for a while there, before Germantown and Olive Branch kind of got rolling, I was like, hey, this game is trending to be another 55 score, ended at 55 points, which was really intriguing. Man, just Kyle Hurd. I mean, my goodness, ending the season on a 24-game winning streak or whatever it was, and they'll carry that. winning streak into next year. And you guys know how it is when you're the hunter, like Shoes alluded to earlier. You know, they've been 10 years removed since a state title, and a team that's got a lot of rich basketball history up there for the past 7 years. He's gotten really close to now going from being a hunter to the hunted next year. And I think one thing that you got to realize is that it's a different type of pressure when you've won and everybody is going at you. You're going to get everybody's best game next year. One, they're carrying on that 24-game winning streak or 25-game winning streak into next year and trying to extend that. And then also, you ain't sneaking up on nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so impressive with Jason Thompson, who's won 11 state championships. And then, with Olive Branch and Peggy's crew, that crew have won 3 in a row, going on 4. That's what makes that championship so important, because it's hard to win. I've always said basketball, when you one and done versus series, and baseball and some other sports, where you got to be clicking every single night. Peggy's get the 4 fouls. That game could have easily, I think they were about to lose that game, and Thompson rolled the dice. I mean, he literally was like he was in Atlantic. What's the coast? Atlantic coast that's got the gambling. He rolled the dice and rolled that kid in a crucial time. So I thought that was intriguing. Just a lot of really, really good basketball. Overall, I thought the officiating was good. I'm a lot like Shoes. I'd like to see the charges not be called and a lot of these flops and stuff. The game has changed a lot, but the 1A basketball game was really well. Shout out to Ingemar and that crew, who I thought did a tremendous job. And just know that they're returning just about everybody. So it seems like 1A, they're going to own 1A with a bunch of middle school kids and 9th graders for the next couple of years that are the core of that group. So I just think overall, I won't take up a lot of time, but I think this was a well-played state championship, a lot of good basketball. And I think Mississippi is on the rise, man. I think we've got some of the best talent in the state, in the country. Having some of the national ranked kids that didn't make it. A lot of people assumed Callaway would be there, and they kind of fell a little short. But we saw. I think Mississippi. I think we can really say that Mississippi is proud, man. To the state of basketball is in a good place with the up and coming athletes that we have. So I'll pass it on to Chuck, and then we'll let you guys kind of finish up.
Yeah, I didn't really have a lot of lows from the state tournament, like Eddie alluded to. I thought it was played really well. Thought the teams competed in the midst of the COVID. I think everything went really well. They handled it well. No major outbreaks. So that in itself is a testament. So, like I said, that's pretty much where I am. I think everything ran really smooth.
Talk to me real quick, and everybody can answer this question that saw this. We had 3, what I consider on the girls' side, we had 3 high major players, 3 superstars. We had Madison Booker from Germantown, Debrisha Poe from and then Kelsey Andrews, the 7th grader from Holmes County Central. I think that those are 3 bona fide high majors. And I think we had some other Division I players that played in this tournament. But those 3 were, and for those you don't know, high majors are those, we're talking about kids that can go play at Connecticut, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU. Those are high major players. And even when you talk about a little further,
Well, hold on, Easy. Let's make sure that America know, or Mississippi know, that those are your 3 high majors. I disagree with you. I think we got more than 3 high majors.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Those are, to me, in the now all I'm talking about is the championship games. That's right. And that's a great point, Eddie. EV saw 3 high majors that are high majors in those games. So, and if you have some more, you can talk about your other ones. Well, but I'm just saying, let's talk about those 3, and then whoever else you want to add, you can.
Okay. All right.
Who? I mean, anybody want? Let's start with Debrisha Poe. What's your thoughts? uh, Talante, I think you saw. Did you see her? Did you get a chance to see her play for Meridian?
Yeah, I did. I've seen her a couple of times. I've seen her on the live when you did the live stream. I think they played somebody in Jackson. I can't remember which team. I liked her. I think she can handle it. She can shoot it. She's long. Unfortunately, they came up a little short, but I definitely like her as a prospect. I do think she deserves all of the attention that she's getting in college programs, and she should garner a lot more as well.
Shoes, what do you think? And then we'll go back to Eddie now on the Bishop.
Um,
Go ahead and knock. You can go ahead and answer, Talante. Just knock. Go ahead and talk about those three, and then we'll go to you, Shoes, and then we'll go back to the guru, the girls' guru, Eddie.
All right. What was the other two? Who were the other two?
Madison Booker and Kelsey Andrews, the seventh grader from
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen. I thought Madison Booker. Like I had tweeted out, I think she's really, really good. For me, yesterday I thought she, like I told you, Evie, I thought she should have started being aggressive a lot earlier. But like you had said, and I did notice it, it was probably the in shape piece that really stopped her from dominating the whole game. Because if you really look at it, you couldn't stop her when she got going. She was dribbling around people like cones. So when she really got going,
I never heard. That's funny. That's a nice geek there.
Nah, but for real though, I mean, she was out there really doing what she wanted to do. It's tough to guard. Like I tell people, it's tough to stop great players. You know what I'm saying? It's just impossible to stop them. You can try to slow them down, but you can't stop them. So I really like Madison Booker, and I think she deserves all the attention that she's getting. The seventh grader Kelsey Andrews, I think she's going to be really, really good. Like she did miss those pressure free throws down the stretch, but she's a seventh grader. You know what I'm saying? And they rimmed in and out. It's not like she airballed them or front rimmed them or anything. Like they went in and out, and that game was a really packed game. The atmosphere was electric, and I really think she's gonna be a super duper. I think she'll probably be a McDonald's All-American by the time she's a 12th grader, and because she's already better than a lot of high schools, and she's better than some college girls right now as a seventh grader. So I can only imagine as a 12-year-old how good she'll be when she's 17, 18.
Shoes.
Nisha, I've watched. I didn't really see her much during the season. I saw more during the summer and stuff. And she's very talented. She really dominates the game at that point. Makes Meridian go. I definitely think she's has a chance to be a high major. She's special at the point guard spot, but. I haven't seen a lot of her. I did get to watch Andrews, and of course I've seen Madison more than any of them because I've called the games. I actually called a couple of Andrews games this year. Madison is a special talent. I mean, I got to go there. I've been watching her since she was playing in middle school. I mean, and it was just wild at some of the things she could do in middle school. And as she's gotten up here to the high school ranks, you can see the talent. You can see the talent level she has. I'm just interested in sitting back and watching her development. She does a lot of things now that you can wow about that she has the capabilities of doing. I'm very much interested in just seeing how the refinement comes, how the refinement to her game comes. You have to assume that it's going to only get better as she gets more refined. I can see a lot of places that refinement can take place, but she's one of the most naturally talented kids that's come through here in a long, long time. She's really up there with some of the talent-wise with some of the greats in the state. Kelsey, she's got a lot of upside. She's another one with a lot of upside. For her to be playing as much as consistently as she is at the seventh grade on the 5A level gives you a great idea of the player she can be. But likewise with Madison, I prefer to kind of sit back and watch the development, watch how they put it together. I think they both have a lot of talent, and both of them have all three of them have a chance to really be a high major player. I think Poe is definitely more refined to all three right now. She to me, and that's big with me, refinement and how you finish, how I'm not just into, wow, they made a great move. I want to see them finish it. I want to see them finish things, be able to finish things. So I think Poe is the more refined of them now, but I definitely think Madison is the most talented, and Andrews is just, she's just the young, up and coming. I won't say raw. She's not. I can't call her raw, but the young, up and coming prospect of the three.
Chuck and Eddie, first of all, talk about those three, and then who you see as no question, because these are no question high majors. Who would you say are no question high majors other than those two in the state that played in the state championship tournament?
Well, I think the 8th grader in Ingomar, Macy Pfeiffer, 29 points and I don't know, a dozen or so rebounds. As an 8th grader right now, I've got her ranked as the number 2 ranked prospect in the state behind Jay Rucker from Tupelo. And a lot of people even feel like she may be the best prospect in the state. I believe that as she continues to develop the game, of course, to me, you got to understand that each college coach has different philosophies. So here's where you and I, we've talked about this off the record a lot. Your definition of a high major may be because your style of the play and the type of kids that you like. That doesn't mean that a Macy Pfeiffer don't fit in another high major system that fits her strengths and things that she can do. So when you talk about no-brainer high majors, that kid averaged 20 points a game and averaged a double-double this year. And I thought that she dominated. It was clearly, the best player. Had one of the better performances in the state. And she's just an 8th grader. So I would say her, and then Alana Rouser, who's getting a lot of attention from a lot of Power 5 schools as well. I think her motor alone warrants her in the Power 5 conversation, in my personal opinion, just because you can't teach a high motor. Like, that's the one thing that Arminta Harrington, every time that her and I talk about her at Ole Miss, they love the way she can move and run the floor. So I think those 2 kids, without a doubt, should be in the conversation. And to be honest with you, not to take anything away from any of those kids that played this weekend, but I thought Rayma Peggy's was the best player of any girl player that I saw in the entire Coliseum. I mean, I was really impressed when I saw her this summer in AAU. But every single time for me, in shoes and Talante, and you guys probably, Chuck and everybody kind of feels the same way. Every time I watch a kid, when I'm evaluating, I'm trying to see what are they doing better than the last time that I've seen them. And every single time that I've seen this kid, even from live streams this year to now, I think Rayma Peggy's is borderline a mid to Power 5 type of kid. In that particular game, at the Germantown game, of course, you got Rouser and Booker, who've already, they're garnering a lot of attention from college coaches, and Booker has dozens of Power 5 offers. I thought Peggy's was the best player in the Coliseum that day. I thought had she not got the 4 fouls, she finished with 30 points or whatever. Had she not gotten foul trouble, I think the kid goes for 40 points. She's just a man child, and she can beat you in so many different ways. So I know we talk about those kids. I think the Andrews kid is the best rim protector in the state, regardless of class, maybe top 5 or top 10 in the country. I've never seen a kid that can anticipate the shot the way she does. And that's a big, huge gift for her to have that type of instinct at only 12 years old, that she can. I think she had double figures in blocks one of the games or whatever. Booker is one of the kids that can score in so many different ways. Booker obviously didn't have the shot going, but she can beat you in so many different ways. When she doesn't have a shot going, then now she's going to get to the rack. I mean, she has the ball in her hand a lot. So I thought Easton did a good job of trying to hold her, and trying to contain her. But she's too talented. You can't stop Booker. She's gonna get her numbers, and she's gonna make an impact in the game. And even with her, she's improved so much because I think Booker is she doesn't get the credit as an elite passer. But I think that as I've watched her, she's got some huge instincts. I think she can play guard at the next level because her ball handling skills are so advanced for her age. And then she sees the floor so well. I know a lot of dimes that she dropped, those girls didn't finish them. But, I mean, she could have easily had 7 or 8 assists in the game. So, I mean, as I'm watching her progress, she's developed that step-back jump shot And then again, she's making other players better. That was a knock on her a couple of years ago. You know, she was a great player, but she didn't make players around her better. Now, I mean, she's making everybody around her better, and she's a dynamic passer. And then when we get to the last one, Depresha Pope, who, you know, I've said all along, I thought she was the best prospect in the state. I mean, the kid didn't get a chance to have the type of game that she wanted, you know, obviously because of the 4 fouls and getting in foul trouble early. I really think the whole dynamic of the state tournament could have been changed had she not got into, because she never got into a flow at all. But like Sue said, she's the most polished kid in the state right now. She's got all the 5 tools, and I think that she's definitely can go play and make an impact in the SEC right away. So I'll just pass it along to y'all. Those are my thoughts. Coach Felton, you just want to talk about? Yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Coach.
Hey, Coach, I pretty much echo everything that Coach Young said. I think that Depresha has, you know, she's been on the stage a little longer with, you know, with her experience. Definitely, we know who she is. Got in early foul trouble, so like I said, we didn't get to see all of her tools. With Booker, we know who Booker is. I mean, Booker has been doing it also. I mean, can score at all levels. Definitely a dynamic player. And she deserves all the attention that she's getting. With Kelsey, I'm just really intrigued and really love Kelsey. She actually, I coached her, we played along with her, and definitely got to see her IQ is just well beyond her years. You know, and I attribute that a lot to her being around college girls on the campus. And I think her mom told me a little while back that she's out with them, and she actually thinks she knows she belongs with them. So I think that really has helped her IQ with some of the other girls that Coach mentioned, Alana Rouser and Pfeiffer. So like I said, I think that those kids definitely are going to should be in the conversation of Power 5.
Well, and let me address that, because I'll be honest with you. I actually had forgotten about Pfeiffer. I hadn't forgotten about Rouser, but I did forget about Pfeiffer. But I want to address those two. I really think, you know, my opinion, and I want to get Pfeiffer on here. I didn't have her information. I would love to get her because she was an MVP. As an 8th grader, and as an 8th grader as a player, she was very impressive. There's no question. 5'10", 5'11", poised out there. She made every big basket. She basically, as an 8th grader, and that's hard to do. And I know it was at the 1A level, but she still dominated the game. She dominated where, you know, she can only dominate where she plays. I look forward to seeing her this summer in AAU and playing some of the elite talent. I like to see where she is for me. And again, you guys actually, you know, and I respect both of you because you guys have been in the girls' game a little longer, a lot longer than I have. Now I have, you know, like what I consider an eye for talent, and both of those young ladies are talented. When I look at a Power 5, I'll just liken it to boys. When I look at Macy Pfeiffer, there's some things I need to be able to see. Now, from in the game, she scored what I call high school points, which she was in the mid range. I saw that she could hit the 3, and there's no question she can become a shooter. At 5'11", I don't know if she's going to grow anymore, because I know girls tend to stop growing around 15, 14, you know, years of age. I have 3 daughters, and that's kind of how when they, you know, stop. So now at 5'10", 5'11", I think she has to be a 3 at worst case at a Power 5. And my thought process, I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be corrected on that. I see her. She's like, I'll put it like this. I think she's knocking on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Alana Rouser, to be honest with you, she impressed me even more. I've seen her improvement. She made a jump from last year. I saw Alana last year, and I did see the jump. I saw the jump where I saw her with her right hand a couple times going and shoot floaters that I didn't see last year. I saw her be able to rip through, you know, with her right hand and get to the basket. And you're right, she does have a motor. So I believe those two, what I would consider knock on the door, I think they still got some more, you know, for me, you know, they have some more things that they had to work on. I'm talking about those other three girls. I'm talking about what I was talking about. They're high majors today. Like, to me, those kids can go and play today. Even Kelsey Andrews, this is gonna sound crazy. She could go fit in on a, she couldn't play, but she could be on a team and be like you ain't really like, she ain't looking out of place. When you watch her warm up, you watch her run. I've never seen a seventh grader run that big and that coordinated. I look at Kelsey Andrews as special. Like, I see her as an elite of the elite. I think she has a chance to be one of the best ever. And now that I've looked at her, I think she's going to grow some more because she's only 12, 13. I think she's going to get 2 more inches. And I see her, I watched her this weekend and I said, she's going to be a true power 5, 4, or 5. And now I look at her and I say, she's going to be really dominant. She has a chance for somebody, when it's all said and done, her numbers could be something like 20, 10, 20, 15, and 12 every night with 12 blocks a night. I mean, she just has that ability. And when I look at the Brescia Pro, I think the Brescia Poe, great body, really can shoot the standstill jumper really well. I think that for me, I see her, she projects as a small forward to the next level, a shooting forward. She's a true shooting forward. I think what I would like to see her do more, I need to see her do more of the pop off the dribble. Can she beat can she beat an athlete like consistently off the dribble? I think she can to a certain degree, but I think I like to see her have a little bit more pop in her game. When I see Madison Booker, I saw her as an 8th grader, and I said her shot was a line drive shot, and I said, as a matter of fact, Eddie, I was talking to you. That was the first time I met you in the Coliseum, and you told me who her dad was, and I'm like, man, that's Carlos Booker. That's my boy. And what I was so excited about, the one thing I was excited about Madison Booker is her jump shot. That has improved so much. And I saw that earlier when Chuck and I was at the Northwest ranking game, and I said, she can really shoot the basketball. And then her ability to see the floor at 6'2", long arms, she can sit down and guard when she wants to. Her biggest thing for me, I think she's, my statement is still the same. I think she can be the top 5. I trained the #1 player coming out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, named Tiffany Gooden, and she was the #1 player in the country, and she went to the ABL when the ABL and the US and the WNBA was the first year, and Tiffany was never as skilled as Madison Booker. Madison Booker, to me, is, and I disagree, I believe she's the most polished kid in the state. I think she's the best kid. I think for me, it's the same. Like, I think Deshaun Ruffin, when I look at the boys, there's Deshaun Ruffin and everybody else. I feel the same way about Madison Booker. I believe it's Madison Booker and everybody else. That's my thoughts. And that doesn't take away from the Bishop Pro. That doesn't take away from Macy Pfeiffer or Alana Rouser. I will say this. I think those girls, they could, I would have to agree with you. Those two, they could, end up being high major kids. They could if they continue to make the jumps that they, especially Alana, if she continues to make the jump, I could see a coach wanting a 6-foot, high energy power forward, a specialty player. I agree with that statement. So I'm with you, Eddie. I can start to see it a little bit more. Y'all got anything else, Eddie or Chuck? I see y'all done transitioned a little bit on that. Anybody else want to add to that?
I think Eddie's trying to jump on right now.
Okay. Well, Eddie will be. Let's talk. Go ahead.
I see we had some questions in there. I guess he was asking me before. Corey Odsey asked me, what do I think about Hamilton? You think 10 pounds would be great for him heading into his second year? Absolutely. I really like Hamilton. And with the extra, I don't know if he's gonna put on 10 pounds over the summer. And I don't know if that'll be good for, you know what I'm saying, what he say he's trying to add to his game, like moving quicker, maybe like 5 pounds of muscle. I do think he needs to add some muscle mass to his body. But I definitely think that would take him to the next level because he already has the frame, the frame to fit that. So with 10 extra pounds of muscle, I really think that'll put him over the hump to being a super elite, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 guy, you know what I'm saying? So he can already shoot it. It looked like he's starting to get that killer in him from the past 2 games that he played. And I think playing on the EYBL circuit is only going to increase his stock and increase his game overall.
Yeah, I really agree. He get out on that circuit this summer and if things go well, I expect him to, rise up the national rankings in a hurry and become a really a player that's got a lot of interest. I agree with you there, Delonte. This summer, I think the summer, if everything can go well, they can get back out and play this summer like they're hoping to. I think it'll be big for him. I expect him to really blow up.
And my thing on Kamani, here's where I don't think he needs to. If he didn't gain Kamani for me, if he doesn't gain 1 pound, if he doesn't get any better skill wise, the summer, like you said, is going to be key. I need to see him dominate from point. I think he's got to get in better condition. And that's the one thing I want to say about Madison Booker. Her conditioning is average to poor for an elite player. And what I mean by that is if you think about the elite players, Kobe, Michael, LeBron, they are in phenomenal shape. And that is what I believe that Kamani Hamilton needs to get in phenomenal shape and become a killer consistently. He has flashes of brilliance. Even last night, like I teased with him, that's the first time I seen Kamani get double-digit rebounds since I've been watching him for 2 years. And he's got to 14 and 14. And even last, he has to take that step next year he has to find a way to get 25 every night, even if he's not shooting the ball every time. He's got to get offensive rebounds. He's just got to dominate the game. And I think that comes with conditioning. If he gains the weight, that's fine. I think that's going to really tell, like you said, in the summer. I think that's going to be a big question mark on him this summer.
And I know we're talking about the girls and the boys, but it's just like you said about Ruffin. Ruffin was the most elite player we've had in Mississippi in the last, 5 years since Malik Newman was a McDonald's All-American.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at both of their games, even for the girls, and they can go hand to hand, they dominated what they do. Ruffin is a dominant scorer. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come in and he's going to get his points. He's going to dominate you on the offensive end. You have to be good at what you do, great at what you do. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I think all of them, the kids who have a chance with a lot of potential, they pretty much just need to learn to dominate their aspects of the game, pretty much the whole game.
That's right. And you can't do that without being in condition.
No,
and that holds true for Kamani and Booker. While we're talking about the conditioning is big. One thing what I thought about too, kids today, man, they don't, I hear a lot, and Shoes, you can go back. I hear a lot of kids, they do a lot of training, and we've talked about this, and I said I want to dedicate a show to, there's just not a lot of hooping going on, and there's not a lot of running. Like, I remember running like some miles, just to get my conditioning up, and there's just not a lot of, there's just too many kids tired and not, well, let me put it like this. I don't know if they're tired or not, but some, and I always tell players, as a coach, don't make me, or even as an evaluator, don't make me make the wrong evaluation because, okay, you got your hands on your knees. Well, that signifies to most coaches what? You're tired or you're doing this. Don't make us have to think about stuff if you jacking around. It never should be jack around mode. And I think we have too much of that, kind of going on. And that's what I want to see them become, like when you talk about elite, the one thing that Kobe, LeBron, like I said, and Michael, they were in elite shape. And I don't think that gets enough conversation.
Well, I'll just say that, I understand what you guys saying. I'm not hung up on elite. But by that, I'm saying I watch, I evaluate. Kids are going to be what they are and who they are. I don't care if he becomes Deshaun. Deshaun is Deshaun. I'm not trying to compare guys to other guys and this and that. I just evaluate them on where they are and where I think they can be. I mean, I understand what you're saying about little things about Kamani's game that they always can be better. You can always get better. You can always increase your game. I have no doubt about that. But I mean, if he doesn't do all of those things that you're talking about, he should be a highly rated and highly recruited player.
No
I
question.
mean, huh?
I
said no question. I agree.
mean, for the thing, I wasn't comparing him to Deshaun. I was just saying what Deshaun does. Deshaun is.
You were just saying that they all got to dominate. Well, sometimes a high major guy didn't just dominate all the time. All of them that get out major scholarships didn't just dominate. You'd like to see him. I hope he does. I think he's going to, and I guess dominate for me and for you guys is a little bit different. To me, just go out and be solid and good every night. I'm happy with that. I think that plays into being good. I guess you guys want to see big numbers all the time. I don't always equate being great with big numbers all the time.
I want to jump. This has nothing to do with numbers for me per se, but numbers. I don't know too many. Like Kamani Hamilton has a chance to be a pro. I mean, he has a chance. I think he has a chance to be a first round NBA draft pick. When I look at him, I see what the NBA is looking for in today's game. He's come along at the right time. Even in the other time, he can shoot it, he can handle it. I mean, he can do a lot of stuff. And I'm telling you this, he is, and I say this, he's bigger than Kevin Durant was at the same stage of the game. He's a bigger basketball player than I recruited Kevin Durant as a 10th grader when he was at National Christian High School for my AAU team. I went and watched him play. Kamani Hamilton is bigger than him. Nobody thought Kevin Durant would be KD as he is today. Nobody. Because if they did, he wasn't. Nobody thought that. So Kamani Hamilton is not far off of what Kevin Durant was as a junior in high school, as far as physically, skill-wise, and all like that. What I'm saying is, what I would like to see Kamani Hamilton do is dominate the game, the whole game. And if he does that, if he dominates the game, the whole game, he ain't got to get 35 like 30 like Deshaun, but he gonna get 25. He just gonna fall into 25.
And exactly, I'm like you, Evie. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're not knocking Kamani at all, but I'm saying you can always be better. That's just like us, even on our show. You always want your show to be better. So I definitely think Kamani's capable of scoring 25, 30 points a game. That's just my thoughts on it from watching him last night. He can score 25, 30 points a game if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And if you got that potential and that skill set, why not do it? You know what I'm saying? We all say we don't look at the numbers, but of course, everybody's always looking at the numbers. You know what I'm saying? College coaches looking at them. Everybody looking at numbers in high school, especially with us being in Mississippi, because they already think Mississippi's not a hooping state anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely
we gotta stop always being this sad sack, accepting this sad sack. I get so tired of that. We always saying people think this about me, people think that. We are who we are, man. Let's stop buying into that people think that about us and repeating that moniker. Let's start walking around like let's stop saying that. I mean, I get so tired of that sad sack moniker we always throw out there about ourselves. I don't believe in throwing sad sack monikers out there. I don't care what other people think. And I'm sorry to jump like that, but that's something that's been irking me all year. I hear too many of us from Mississippi repeating that bull crap. Man, people think this, people think that. People in Mississippi get what they earn and deserve just like everybody else. They do. We do. I don't buy that moniker.
Hey, let me
down on us for this and that.
Hey, Shoes, with all due respect, and you know how much respect I have for you, my brother. I'm a respectfully disagree with you on that. And let me tell you why. I used to think the same way, Shoes. And when I first got into girls basketball about 10 years ago, a little bit longer, I was speaking to, and let me just tell y'all this. Y'all wonder why I work so hard to try to get girls basketball here in Mississippi at the level that it is in some of the other states. Because let's just be honest, from a developmental stage, I think that's what EV was alluding to, us getting back to the fundamental part of basketball, whether it be budget issues, because in the Delta, 80% of the high school girls basketball coaches are the offensive coordinators for the football team, and that don't, excuse my French, don't give a damn about basketball, but they ain't got nobody else to hire. And so we are behind, Shoes. And I'm gonna tell you what a college coach told me. They was recruiting a kid that was going to Alabama, and I asked the college coach about this particular kid that was playing in Tennessee. And I said, well, why don't you recruit some of the Mississippi kids? You know, and because the Mississippi kids that was on the team that was bridged from Memphis, Tennessee, to me, I thought was playing just as good. And the coach and the college coach told me this out of his mouth. He said, you know what, Coach Young, the reason I don't is because I just wait till they go to JUCO, because they're going to come here and they're going to get homesick and they're going to go back home. And so when you hear that, it's discouraging as it may be. I'm trying to change that stereotype, Shoes, because whether we agree with that or not, that is a stereotype. That's the mentality that people have about us here in Mississippi. We always last. And again, I agree with both of you guys. Yeah, we get sick of it, but until we can change that narrative, that's just the reality of it, you know? And so that's what drives the hell out of me, because I'm driven to change that narrative of a coach tells me.
I got a question though, Eddie. Is that a narrative or is that the truth? Because a lot of our kids do double back to JUCO, do come back home and do that.
That's like you're saying, though, it is true. It's just like Mississippi's perfect example. Mississippi's last in education, one of the last ones out of 50 states. You're right. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Most kids do go to JUCO. You know what I'm saying? Most of them might be homesick when they leave because some people never left Mississippi. Some kids have probably never even been in my area farther than Tupelo or maybe even, you know what I'm saying, Memphis. You know what I'm saying? So that is, you know, it's hard to leave when you never left before. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a major point right there, Talkin. And I want to say this though. There is a difference between, here's where I understand where Shoes is coming.
Right, me too.
Absolutely. To a certain degree. There's a difference between facts and truth. The facts are the facts. Here are the facts. And I think what you, Shoes, are alluding to are the facts. Mississippi, what Talante, you know, what you're tired of hearing are the facts. Like Talante just said, it's a fact that Mississippi is last in education. It's the fact. But the truth of the matter is that we have intelligent people here just like they have in North Carolina. See, it's a difference. The fact is, yeah, that's a fact. But see, we need to operate in truth. And here's where I go to the Bible. So I can get with you a little bit on this, Shoes. Some stuff we don't need to repeat because the Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. So sometimes we speak death on our state by repeating the facts,
right,
versus repeating or speaking the truth. Y'all get that next day. Y'all don't have to send me no offer. Y'all think about that, pray about it, read about it, and get that next week.
It's like, you know, when I go up, when I'm talking about, when I say stuff, I get so tired of us being wearing that sad sack on our back so readily. Just like last week, when Booker didn't first make the All-Star game, somebody I know well tweeted or Instagram or something, man, people don't think Mississippi can play. They didn't pick Devin Booker for the All-Star game. Man, Devin Booker not getting picked for the All-Star game. It got nothing to do with Mississippi.
That's exactly right. That's ridiculous. Now,
I understand what
that's what I'm saying. I get so tired of us always being so ready to wear the sad sack label.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, Shoes, and we agree with that. It's kind of like the race car. You know, after a while, you get tired of saying, "Oh, I can't make it in America because I'm black." Now, I'll just say this, and I agree with that. I'm with you guys on that. And Mississippi does have a lot of great things that have come through it. Let's not be. If the kid from MRA And I believe this right here. If all of the Mississippi kids either played together AAU, or if we had one team, I think you can take the best Mississippi kids and go play against any state in the country. If you put the kids from MRA Hubbard with Deshaun Ruffin, you ain't gonna find no better guards than them. You go put that kid with the Devin Reed kid and the kid from Kamani Hamilton. I just think Mississippi players can go play with any kids in the state of Mississippi. I mean, Booker's a top 10 player in her class. You've got Deprecia Poe, who's nationally ranked. Alana Rousler, nationally ranked. So we have a lot of quality kids, but I will say that we underdeveloped in terms of fundamentals. And that's something that I think that we've got to do a better job. And when Talante say we're trying to just making a comment doesn't mean that we're not trying to always improve, because I think each and every one of us want to be better today than we was yesterday. So and that just drives us to being successful. But y'all was talking about the Kamani Hamilton kid. I'm gonna tell you what I noticed, because I was at the Terry game and when they played when Clinton played Terry. I think he doesn't get enough credit. And I know you guys are specialists on the board side. I like that kid defense on ball. I think he's a hell of a defender. I saw him play really good defense against the Devin Reed kid, and I've seen him step out on smaller guards with his longer wingspan and have the footwork. So if you're projecting one player in the state of Mississippi, to me, and just my personal opinion, I think if I had to bet, I would bet that he would have an opportunity to be a really, really good player, and even like Evie said, maybe even a pro someday because of his unique. I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's still a big man's game, and he's 6'7" every day he wake up. So I just don't think he get enough credit for the way he plays defense, because that was the one thing that impressed me. I got a chance to see him a lot this summer, and all those kids played in of course, y'all know they come and play in my tournament, the Magnolia Classic, every year. So I get a chance to see a lot of in-state talent on the board side, and again, like I said, I think that kid really has a chance to do something great. I've always said kids that are really successful have a good corner, and I think he's got a really good corner with his dad and his granddad and the supporting cast that he has. They're going to keep his nose clean, and I think the kid really's got a great chance to be one of the better players to come out of this state.
Right, and like you say, he got the pedigree for it.
A quick pin real quick before Chuck. I want to go to a question. Go ahead, Chuck, and then I want to go, after Chuck comments, I want to go to a question that was on our chat from Ariana Patton. She asked a question, and I think I want to get to it before we get too deep into it.
It won't take me but a sec, but what I was going to say about Kimani, another thing that's overlooked is that Kimani actually can be a 6'7", 6'8" point guard. And I think at the next level, not putting him in that talent, but that puts him with Penny Hardaways and Walt Wizards, big guards that actually could see the floor. Hey, EV, pause for a second. You'll come back to me.
Okay. Real quick, Ariana Patton. Eddie, you can answer this question first, and then I'll jump in. Anybody else? And Ariana Patton is the little point guard at Meridian. And I say little, so you can point guard, AK/shooter. That's going to Jones Community College. She says, "What do y'all think I need to add to my game? I just love getting advice to be better, to better herself." So, Eddie, what do you think about Patton and what she needs to do?
Well, of course, I think everybody on here loves AP game in her heart and soul. You know what was intriguing to me? Coach Thompson's game plan wasn't to stop Deprecia Poe. He came into that game to stop AP. So there's a lot of respect for that kid. When I saw that, I was like, wow. I was telling Coach Felton, man, he gonna let Poe do his thing, but man, he's trying to stop AP. So he face guarded AP. So the one thing that I'll say in that particular game, AP, when you got face guarded, and I know as you begin later in the season, teams started to play you that way. I just think when you get to the next level, understanding how to move without the ball a little bit better would be something that would be good. I saw a couple of times in the game where you took bad angles trying to get back to the ball and things like that. But I just think that would be something that you definitely need to work on. I think your pull-up game is deadly. Of course, you're a big shot maker. Your ball handling skills are above average, in my opinion. I think your vision is above average. But those are the things that I think that you definitely maybe moving without the ball, because even though you're a smaller guard, AP, I think that there's going to be times where in college, Missy and may even play you off ball and cross match you. So where you're actually in a situation where you're guarding the point guard, but you're playing off the ball because you're such a small scorer. So that would be my advice to you, is just learning how to move without the ball. When you get into one of those situations where teams are playing and trying to deny you the basketball.
Chuck, you have anything for Ariana?
Yeah, EV, like I said, I mean, not that I try to always piggyback off Coach Young, but that's something that I saw with AP. I mean, big time player, big shot maker. I think at the next level, what we always attribute to point guards is not so much as scoring on the next level, but who can they make better? So I just think that's one thing that AP you can incorporate in your game is just breaking the defense down more and hitting it. Not that you don't do it now, but I just think there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, and did anybody else have anything on it that they saw? Okay. For me, what I saw, and I can only go on a vacuum of what I saw this year. I saw that in the right corner, you're a phenomenal shooter. Like you're probably above 50% right corner shooter. Like you hit right corner shots like never before. You're a shooter. You can shoot the basketball. You can hit, catch, and shot. What I like to be able to see you do is, and I just didn't see it this year, so I think you can do it. But I like to see you talk more. I like my point guards, and I think not enough people talk enough. Talk more. I mean, I think you talked a little bit, but we need to talk more at the next level as you go to Division I, because I think you have to be a point guard at the next level, and I think you can do it. I'd like to see you, I'd like to see you penetrate and kick and be able to, shoot the floater left hand, right hand. So those are a few things, with your pump fake, now I get to the lane, I float you. I float you with the left, I float you with the right. And then also just, like I think Chuck said, making everybody else better. And then learning how, I think a lot of point guards, and I don't see this much from too many players, where they can go out and initially get everybody better, get everybody else theirs, but then they can run off 10 to 12 on their own. Like I think as those are what I consider the elite point guards, where you're gonna get everybody, I dime you, I dime you, okay, I get you going. And then when it comes time for me in the game, then I go to work. And and just picking spots better. So that's what that's kind of what I see with you, Ariana. So anyway, that's we wanted to ask that. Couple other questions. Couple other comments. Corey Isaac said,
yeah, I was looking at that too, EV. Can I comment on that, EV, right quick? I want to say what Corey said.
Yeah.
He said, much respect, shoes, but I only disagree because of the lack of resources, no disrespect. Well, what I want to say about this is that goes back to what I say about us always wearing that sad sack thing. Hey, I'm not saying that we can't do things better, that things couldn't be better in some ways. I know that first of all, I know we're in Mississippi. It's a football, baseball state. Basketball, the redheaded stepchild in this state from the powers that be. That is true. There's not great coaching all around. That is true. We can work to get that better. Ain't nobody doing that to us. We're doing that to ourselves. It's not about what people think about us. Let's stop saying people think this and think that about us. Because if we're not developing kids, they're not good enough to go nowhere else. But the kids that are good enough, the people that have worked and been good enough, when they were drafting kids out of high school, we had a number of kids drafted out of high school to the NBA. We've had a number of McDonald's All-Americans, including one this year. We've had professional football players throughout the league still be putting them in the league. The kids and the players that come out of Mississippi that deserve and could and can go and do something, they get there. Booker came out of there. Malik came out and went to Kansas. We've had numerous high major kids come out and play. So it's not that I don't think nobody looking down on us, and we need to stop repeating that adage that, now people think this or people think that. True, we can do some things better, But the things that need to be done, that can be done better, got to come from inside. We are always saying this, if you're talking about being able to develop more kids and get more kids to a certain place. But the kids that don't get it, they probably wasn't good enough. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. So that's why I say let's stop using that on everybody. Stop hollering. I mean, we're the last one of the bottom states in education. Let's repeat it. You know, why are we getting up? Why are we always hollering? People say that about us. Oh, people ain't saying that about us. That's a fact. You know, let's stop wearing the sad sack adage and just work to do better. The sad sack adage just drives me crazy. You know, it's like we want people to we want to please others. Let's just work on ourselves.
Hey, my stance shoes is the exact same thing. I agree with you 100%. I don't think that, and I think what Shoes is saying is his frustration is people making excuses and not getting, the sideline guy sitting on the sideline complaining and moping, but not in the trenches on the field. So I'm with you, and I want to get in that field and be we know it got to change. We got to be able to change the things in terms of developing and getting our kids to the next level. Not just from a sports standpoint, but education and everything. So again, like I say, it's just like the black card. We can throw that up every day of the week, but that doesn't do anything. And you did make a good point. And I definitely appreciate Corey Eyes, my hometown guy. I really know how passionate Corey is. He's a community guy, and the things that he does in terms of helping kids in his community and investing. So Corey Isaac's Shoes is one of them guys who ain't just gonna say he gets in and invests his finances and stuff and has helped kids I know over the years and things like that. So again, I think we all just got to come together, not make excuses, and get in the fight and change that narrative. And like you said, Shoot, that's the fact. We are at the bottom because our education system is well below average. I mean, well below the national average. So where we're from, Natchez Adams School District, had Corey Isaac and I from the same hometown. Talante, and I'll let you jump on, had the second worst test scores in the country after a school in New York. You think about all the schools in the country, and the school in Natchez is that bad. It's failing that bad. So we got to be able to change that. And I agree with both you guys. But go ahead, Talante.
No, I was gonna piggyback off what you said. And education and sports, they pretty much go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? You can be the best athlete in the world. If you don't got the grades, it's pretty much not gonna matter because, and we have plenty of them now that's in the same boat. You're gonna have to go to JUCO. So yes, you do screw yourself over. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, Shoes, a lot of our kids, they do sell themselves short. Like you said, the ones who want to get out, they make it out. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of them, they do sell themselves short. And like you said, that's something we need to change. You know what I'm saying? That's an internal conflict of just being Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? It's a culture.
It's a culture and a mentality. And just like all of us who have coached, the one thing that we always want to do is change the culture and the mentality. Some of the greatest coaches, before they even picked up a basketball or ran a drill, they dealt with the mind of their athletes, and stuff like that. So I agree. It's a stereotype that's on us, unfortunately. But again, we can complain about it, or we can get in the trenches and fight. And I'm willing to get in the trenches and fight to change that narrative about Mississippi. So
let me say one thing about the Mississippi education, because I only have one point of reference. I raised two daughters in Indiana in a very good school system. I raised my other two youngest kids, started raising them in a pretty solid school system in Goldsboro, North Carolina. I want to say this for the record. Clinton, Mississippi School District is the best school district that I've ever had. So there is some, Clinton, and I've heard Matt, they are, I feel like, I say this all the time, I feel like I'm getting a private education for free. So there are some phenomenal school systems right here in Mississippi. And so that goes along with what you're saying. We can't clump it all together. We can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's good and greatness in every, when we talk about Mississippi, and when I was not living in Mississippi, I bragged about Mississippi all the time. I would watch, I would come online, look at the Clarion Ledger every Sunday, the Commercial Appeal every Sunday. I would look because y'all had the box scores, and I would see How many points did James Hollywood Robinson have? Shanna Perry and all those different people. When we look at Mississippi, this great state, that's why I call it that. You can argue the top 3 running back comes from Mississippi, Walter Payton. You can argue the top 3 wide receiver, Jerry Rice, comes from Mississippi. So Mississippi, and we can go on down the line, Jackson State has the most hype Hall of Famers, I think, than any other college in Mississippi. So there is greatness coming out of Mississippi. I think the challenge that we have, and we have to be honest with ourselves, the challenge aren't our children as much as it is the adults, because God has put us in control as parents and as the leaders. And our challenge is we ain't getting along. We ain't doing what we're supposed to do. And our kids, they only see and act like we're doing to a certain degree. So that's my thought process. I think that we as adults have to do a better job and in changing the narrative and pushing it as far as, especially in sports and everything across the board. And I think then we'll begin slowly to see the change and be the change that we want to become. But I think it starts at home, and it starts with us as an adults.
And yeah, just to piggyback off you, and this is really all I got. I know we're finna get ready to close, but it kind of goes into what you said. Like, we have our own show and we talk about basketball, and like now we're talking about something that's, you know what I'm saying, we kind of veered off from basketball, but a lot of people actually watch this show. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from being at the Coliseum for 2 days with people, black, white, all races. They actually watch the show and they actually pay attention to it. So it's just like when we might be, let's say we're critiquing a kid, when we're not, we're just giving advice and saying what they should do. Some of those kids are actually going to go in and soak that in and apply it to their everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So just because it might seem like we're just talking about it on here, somebody might grasp something, even if it's not the kid we're talking about. So somebody going to pick something up. And as you know what I'm saying, just being a basketball community or Mississippi community, that's what we need to propel our sports and, you know what I'm saying, everything forward with everyday life. You know what I'm saying? We need that. We need to use our platforms because, I mean, we do, let's face it, we have a big platform with basketball just from this show alone. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? When we started this show, when EV had called us to do it, 4 months ago, we didn't know how it was going to go. And it actually grew tremendously throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should just, you know what I'm saying, keep using our platform. Let's speak, like Shu said, let's speak the facts. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it out there and just let people grasp these nuggets as they may. You know what I'm saying? But let's, like Eddie said, let's all work together and be unified. And you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing forward. You know, let's change the narrative.
Right. Well, with that, guys, let's if anybody got anything, let's just do our last geek. You know, unless did we have anything else we want to talk about the boys tournament at all, or did we want to?
My picks bust my bracket. You know, from the third round on.
Hey, you got to look back and tell us who had the most picks right now. You wrote them all down, didn't you?
Hey, you know what? And on the next show, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna compile our records and see who actually had the most. Who had the? I know I got Clinton right. You know, I do know that.
You got Lanier right too, didn't you?
I got Lanier right.
I got Lanier right. I got Holmes right.
Girls right.
I missed on Clinton.
Yeah.
Got Laura right.
Yeah, I who did Laura play? They played
Holmes County.
Yeah, I think I picked home. I know I picked home.
I think I picked Laura. Yeah, I picked Laura.
No, you picked Holmes County.
No, I had picked Laura to beat who they played the first game.
And then you had Holmes County.
Yeah, I had Holmes County win the championship.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get you. Well, I ain't gonna let you live on it because
I think the only champion I got right was St. Andrews,
Ingomar.
Yeah,
we
all got Ingomar.
You had Belmont, didn't you?
Yeah, I had Belmont too.
Belmont, yeah, we had.
Hey, we all got Ingomar wrong.
On the boy side we did, but on the girl side we picked Ingomar.
Girl side we got it right. Yeah, you're right. We were a ricochet pass away. You know?
Right.
But you know what?
And think about this. And let's before we close, I do want to for me, I want to talk about a few impact players that I saw for the first time that I really fell in love with. I fell in love with Zach Sugars. Matter of fact, I called Wayne Brent at Jackson State and I said, Coach, I think Sugars I think he's right there. He's a coach's dream. And depending on where I would be in my scholarship situation, I think he's a low major kid, but he's a super high character kid and he's a coach's dream. And so I told Coach Brent, I said, hey man, if you could get this kid as an academic scholarship kid, man, you need to take him, because I know Coach Brent and I know the type of player he likes. The man talks on the floor. He hits the 15-footer. I saw him directing traffic. He's 6'4", but he sometimes plays like he's 6'6", but he's only 6'4", and he's long. He got long arms. He defends. I wish he told me he had two. I talked to him a little bit, and he's going to go to Southwest. Brian Bender once again steals a kid that, Brandon Bender does a great job, man. That was his only offer. And
can't believe that with all those schools up north. I don't know what any woman in Northeast them was thinking about.
And Northwest, Kahoma. I just got to be honest, man. They should have been all over that kid.
He's been in my rankings for 2 years. He doesn't get that high because he's only 6'4" and he's kind of forward. But I think I think ain't no way that JUCO shouldn't have been all over him.
Well, when I see, when I heard about it being a dandy dozen, and that was the pick that everybody was kind of like, why did he get it? Looking back at it now,
I thought he could have. That last shot. You know what I'm saying? That was a big shot. He was always, good.
He winning shot last year too. He hit the game winning shot last year too.
And he's in no question in my mind, he's a dandy dozen intangible guy. Now there may be some guys.
I said this now when the dozen came out. It's not the dozen we all expected, but it wasn't a lot of guys that didn't have something good about their game that was on their list.
Right, I agree with you. I agree.
There wasn't a lot of guys. I said, and if you're looking for certain things, this and that, I can see, he wasn't just a terrible pick. I didn't think it was a truly terrible pick based on numbers or what they brought to the table on their list in a lot of ways. It's just there were people that we thought were a better fit than some of them.
Right.
And I mean, for their defense, some guys played up to, having that label. And some guys that we thought should have been on the list, they had some mediocre seasons as well. So, Hey,
I'm gonna pick it back off UEV. The guy that I saw that caught my eye that I hadn't seen, I had heard his name. I knew that he already signed a JUCO scholarship. But the guy that caught my eye that I was most impressed about was Cam Smith. That we had on tonight.
Cam Smith.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that tall and long. He's active. He can shoot the ball. He can step out and shoot it. He runs the floor well. He's the one that caught my eye at the state tournament that I hadn't really seen before. Sometimes it's hard to see those guys up north. I try to keep up with the names and what they're doing, but until you actually lay eyes on the guys, sometimes you won't really know how well they play.
I tried to get him down to Jackson to the tidal wave again because it came to the first one, but I tried to get him to come back this year, but I guess it was kind of too far for him. So I tried to get him down to the opportunity.
Yeah, and let me just say to you guys that are out there, when we put on these combines and camps, myself, Talante, Eddie Young, Mark Rowe, just to name a few that I'm not, and those of you who don't, those of you others who do, and I didn't call your name, there's no disrespect, but I just know about those. It's imperative and important that you guys come and at least let us take a look. And it's not that we are, because Shoes is going to be a guy like Shoes is going to be there. My contacts, Talante contacts, Eddie's contacts, Mark Rowe's contacts, and others who are going to be in the gym can help you. And what we have to begin to do, and I've talked to Eddie about this and even talked to some others, we have to begin to decide, you almost have to begin to get almost a survey to me of where these kids want to go, a radius. of almost like a 3 to 5 hour radius from where they live, because we can begin to, like, some of our kids ain't trying to go to the University of Vermont. Now, I know that may sound crazy, but Vermont is a division, isn't it Vermont a Division I program?
Yeah, very good Division I program.
You see what I'm saying?
So,
so here's what we have to begin to understand and look at. And we got to do a better job, because if we're honest, now people won't like this, but if we're honest about it, in Mississippi, it's one of the, and this is why I was saying Mississippi is a unique state. Mississippi has the best JUCO system in the country when it comes to facilities and when it comes to, they look like a college, they look like a 4-year school. They're competing against 4-year schools.
Right.
They have arguably the best, you know. Now, other people like Florida and Texas may have more talent, but ain't too many JUCOs have on-campus housing. That's huge. And really, you could get away with just playing high school ball and be a good high school player and get a JUCO scholarship.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're right. Because they got 12 spots they got to fill with Mississippi kids.
They got to fill them. So now you have to determine if that's, you know, like, and I think we you know, and then we talk about, you know, there are going to be some elite ones and different things like that. I think that's why I was talking about, and I keep pushing them like a broken record. That's why I keep talking about us coming together so we can identify, okay, these kids want to go, they'll go wherever in the country. They don't care. We need to identify that. Right. So now we don't waste college coaches' times and we don't waste our time. You know what I mean? We need to identify this kid is a JUCO kid. Well, then, to be honest with you, the JUCO kids that they have not taken care of business and their grades, they got to go JUCO. Really, not that we neglect them, but they got something. They gonna make it if they're a good enough player. They gonna make it. And then we have to go and decide. Okay, here's these kids that are going that 3 to 5. They want to be close to home. So now we need to put a net in that range and say, and meet with and make sure all of those coaches know our kids.
I'll tell you something else. I think we got to get a mindset going around more. We preach, a lot of us we talk about Division I talent, Division I ball. We got to get our kids to understand ain't nothing wrong with the NAIA and D2. It pays your education.
That's right. That's right.
Kids make money from those levels.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm big on getting a kid at his level where he can succeed.
That's right.
Because you know, if you go over your level, you're not going to be successful. You're going to end up on the bench. You're going to end up getting recruited over. Go your level, have some success. At least be able to have enjoyed your college career. You know, even if you don't play any ball afterwards, you can look back on your college career and feel good about it. You had 4 good years.
That's a great point, Shoes. See, you and that is phenomenal. Go to your level, and don't get mad at us when we, based on our analysis, say what we think your level is. We have a combined. You're talking about Shoes is 6-7 years older than me, so he's no matter how even though I've coached over 30 years, 900 games, Shoes has seen more games than I have. He older than me. So I gotta submit to Shoes, even though I think I might be smarter than Shoes in some areas. But I got at least, as my pastor say, he used to tell me, EB, he was probably 15 years older than me, and he would tell us, I backed into more knowledge than you have, and that's where we got the respect comes in. Where it comes in, anybody that's my elder, Wayne Brent is 1 year older than me. He's my elder. We've coached probably as many games, but he's my elder, so I respect him. Chuck Wansley is my elder. Those guys, I mean, at the end of the day, they ain't but maybe 8-9 months, some of them in a year, but I respect them. And so all of these things has to come into play when you're talking about evaluation, stuff we can help, and we don't know everything.
No, we can help. I never tell anybody I know everything.
But we can help you, and we're going to be wrong sometimes. But you said a major thing, Shu. Some of these kids need to be going to and these colleges got to do a better job, like a Mississippi college. Some of these kids need to be going to Mississippi College and be very happy and go get a Mississippi College education, which means a lot in Mississippi and a lot of other places too. And you get with that alumni base, you start, you get jobs forever. We got to start going deeper into this thing a little bit, than what we're doing, so we can begin to educate the parents, and the parents need to listen, even the ones that play ball, and they've done it, because I think we need to develop teams, even within players. Like, for example, Deshaun Ruffin had a team. It was Team Ruffin. His mom, his stepdad, Dave Sanders, and maybe whoever else. But that's his core. People need that. I think that's important. And that's who you need to be listening to, your core.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in, Evie. I like everything that you guys just said, man, and y'all spot on. I mean, y'all really are. I've seen, and there's a kid that I can't call his name, but Shoes know him, Talante know him, Evie know him as well, and I know him very well. I've seen kids who burn up relationships with JUCO or smaller schools because in their mind, let's just be honest, everybody have a false perception. Well, not everybody, but most people tend to have a false perception of where their child is. Let's just be honest. Or even kids seem to think they, when we used to hand those little notes out and say what schools you want, and we're going to try in AAU, y'all probably did this, what schools you want to go to, and everybody say UConn, Tennessee, and I'm like, come on, you ain't a UConn kid. And there's one kid I know specifically, he's one of many, that pretty shone on or smiled down on some JUCO schools, and when he didn't get offers that he probably should have got, he ended up having to take a different route, and he's in a better situation. But I always tell all of these girls and all of these kids, boys or girls, a JUCO coach today is a Division I coach tomorrow. The NAIA coach today, if you're in 9th grade, could be a Division I coach tomorrow. But beyond that, like you guys are saying, there is nothing wrong if you can go and get your college education paid. And a lot of us aren't D1 ready. Sometimes there are kids who get bigger offers who didn't want it. Let's just be honest. And they go there and they find themselves lost, and then they're right back home or back where they should have started anyway. So let's just be mindful of potential athletes that don't get caught up in how many offers somebody else got. Because guess what? If you got 1,000 offers, how many schools you can go to? Shoes, you got 1,000.
Sign but one. That's what I've been saying that for 20 years, guys. If you can't sign but one scholarship.
I love how Rashad Bolden.
I was just gonna say that he did it. He has.
That was a nice geek right there. I mean, if he didn't have that thing, he that's a prepared answer.
I told y'all he been well prepared. That's what I said. He been well prepared.
He had an astute answer. Then it was spot on. Like he had been rehearsing in the mirror.
Oh man, it was just beautiful. He said, "I can only go to what did he say? He said it so eloquently. I can only go to one."
No. I mean that's true though. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to, tease everybody when you're only gonna pick one anyway. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really see the point of that either. You know what I'm saying? Like putting 5 schools on there when you already know which one you're going to. You know what I'm saying? It just add anticipation for nothing.
Yeah, it's what we call the geek.
That's it.
Anyway, man, we anybody have anything else? Any other players?
I'm ready to get off this show. Me and Chuck and drove all the way from Tupelo, man. I'm back home. Then ate a hot dog shoe, sitting in the thing. Kim about ready to knock my head off, man. Look, it's 9:15. I done drove all the way from Tupelo. We still on this show, man. Let's close this
9:15. God, no.
Oh, y'all had y'all a ride then.
Yeah, man, we drove all the way. Yeah, we've been on the show since I done made it home now.
Congratulations. Good job. So let's go with the last geek, and we'll start with you.
Hey, look, my last geek, a couple of things I saw in the state championship, in the state playoffs tournament. Teams don't know how to foul boys or girls down the stretch. You know, I see these teams who I've always, when I played, I always made a play on the ball because I know if I got a free foul and I'm attempting to foul, I'm going to make a play on the basketball and hope that their referee may or may not call. But I saw so many late game situations because we had a lot of close games where kids was just go and push a kid in the back or just go and just grab a shirt. I saw one kid go and kind of grab at the kid and the ref can call, and 15 seconds later, the kid is still spinning around dribbling. That's one thing that we got to do better. We got to be able to teach kids how to properly foul down the stretch. That can be the difference in coming back and winning a basketball game. Beyond that, that's just a little pet peeve of mine, man. I think it's been a great show. Again, man, you know, EV, you're doing a great job bringing all of us together. I know that's a big part of your ministry, man, and why you're here. And I'm not geeking you. I'll be totally honest with you. I respect some of the things that you've done for me personally with some people in Bridge, some relationships that could have went south for whatever reason with me. And I really do. I appreciate that. I want to say that publicly. A lot of people say what they're going to do to be cliche, but what you've done, I think, is admirable, my brother. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate this podcast and what you're doing and the vision behind some of the things that you're doing. Shoes, a lot of respect for you, my brother. You've been in the game for a while, as EV say. You know, you're legendary, so respect you and Talante. Whenever you know, at some point, Shoes gotta pass that mantle. And I think that Talante is right in the wings to pick up that mantle, man. And for Chuck, hey, look, Chuck, I enjoyed you today, man. You know, you my right hand guy, and you know, you know how I feel about you, man. So I just want to just take time to just kind of shout out you guys. I know we shout out everybody else all the time, but I want to shout out us as being, you know, somewhat the voice of Mississippi right now, and just appreciate you guys and what we're doing, man.
Chuck, go ahead. Last geek.
Who?
Chuck is on. Chuckster. Oh. Chuck, can you get on? Can you? Well, we'll
hey,
go.
Today,
Huh?
Look, I'm sitting here trying to find what. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, look, I'm coming. Almost making it home. But anyway, man, I want to say I really appreciate you having me on. Maybe next time we won't be on the road and I can actually be sitting in the comfort of the house, man, and you can actually see me. But anyway, like I said, really enjoyed the show. Shoes, been knowing him for a while. Appreciate your Shoes, everything you do. And Talante, man, like I said, really nice to meet you, man. Really love the positive things you're doing. Coach Young, like I said, my road dog. We've been up and down this road. So, like I say, and EV, like I said, once again, appreciate you. And that's it for tonight, man.
Talante?
Pretty much piggybacking like I had mentioned earlier, you know what I'm saying? I do think the show has been monumental for Mississippi girls and boys basketball this season with COVID being here and people not being able to go to games and, you know, people just tuning in to catch, as you say, Evie the Geek. I'm proud of everybody for what they do. I know we all have different paths, like Shoes like to do rankings. I run camps. Eddie runs camps, teams. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we're doing, it all goes into one pot on trying to help kids, you know what I'm saying, succeed at what they do with basketball. So for everybody, you know what I'm saying, just continue to do what you do. I enjoyed the show this year. I know the school season is pretty much over after private school ball this week, but like we had said, hopefully we can come up with a plan to keep things going with like some AAU or something. But until next year, guys, you know what I'm saying, for school ball season, you know what I'm saying, private school, public school, we'll see you guys later. And just focus on getting better and focus on coming back next year stronger.
Well, I'm going to say, you know, I want to go along the same lines first and say, really enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed, you know, collaborating with all you guys. I really think we took I like the direction we took when we started having all of us on here together a little bit. I kind of like that. You know, we talked about that early on, EV, about how we were going to do it a couple of times. And I like having all of us on, even though I'm not the sharpest girls on top of the girls' ball side, but, you know, I enjoy being involved and listening and being able to talk to some of the girls. I've seen them in camps and I ref in the camps and all that, so I have seen a lot of them at times. I want to say we're not done yet. I don't know if we're going to come on next week. We're not done with that ball yet. We got the private school, the MAIS overall championship semis and finals coming up Monday and Tuesday. Got quite a bit of talent out there. We got Josh Hubbard and Phillip Hughes and what's the other kid, the sophomore that they have out there at MRA. You know, we've got you got Josh Lee and John Lucas at Hartfield. And I want to throw out there now we got the Smith kid, what's his name? We've got DeAndre Smith that was at Greenwood that won the 4A state championship last year at Greenwood, is playing for Greenville Christian tomorrow. Will be out there also, who was really impressive last year in the state tournament and was a really talented player. So we've got a lot of talent out there. Got 2 good nights of ball left. Just like Delonte said, I hope we can keep this thing going. I don't imagine that we'll be coming on every week, but as the AAU ball gets started, I definitely hope we can find some shows to have and talk about some other things and keep it going throughout the summer on into the school year. I'm good.
Yeah, I just want to say, appreciate all you guys as well. And we will, Talking Hoops in the SIP, we're not gonna, the public school and like I said, we'll be out. I know myself and Shoes will be out at the private school the next 2 days. Talking Hoops in the SIP will be going on, throughout the year, throughout the summer. We will be covering AAU. We'll be bringing on kids still, as they work out. We're gonna just definitely try to be creative as well. Try to talk even this week to some more championship teams. So we'll be on a couple times this week, either side on Sunday, and you guys be welcome to jump on if you can, and for that, if your schedule allows it. So again, appreciate everybody, all the parents and people that came. Huh?
Hey, you had hey,
so
before we get off, you know what I'm saying? You had froze, Evie. Before we get off, guys. Talk Hoops in the SIP showcase, March the 27th at MRA.
Yeah.
Make sure you come out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you come out and see that. It's gonna be I don't like to call it a game. It's gonna be a great event. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an event. It's not a basketball game. It's gonna be a great event. So make sure you pull up to that and support kids from all over the state. You know what I'm saying? You'll see north, south kids from everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's March 27th. Definitely be out to that. So again, we'll be continuing to, I don't know what y'all heard. You say I froze. So we'll continue to have the Talking Hoops in the SIP show. Okay, show the whole time throughout the summer, AAU, different things like that. We're going to be creative. There's several different events that's coming up. Like I said, like Delonte said, there's going to be the Talking Hoops first annual showcase, all those games March 27th. So for Charles Felton, Eddie Young, Delonte Weber, Lavelle Shoes Johnson, I'm Coach EV.